Thanks, Charlie. Great to be here. Really excited about this game. Obviously, we've just seen a great game. Waratah is very dominant, but really looking forward to this matchup right now.
Dominic McCormack, as usual. Mr. Smooth, how are you, mate?
Charlie, that's a bit too much of a wrap, I think, but great to be here this afternoon. This is going to be a terrific match. Southern District's taking on the Tiwi Bombers. Tiwi Bombers have been in outstanding form in the last month and a half. Southern District's perhaps not so, but don't be fooled is all I could say in that regard.
Let's talk about their form from last week. Southern District's down to Nightcliff by 91 points. There was not much in it at half-time. Outscored 12 goals to 1 in the last quarter. They just stopped as if they'd been shot, the Crocodiles. And the Tiwi Bombers, well, they did a job on St Mary's. 120-point winners. Big winners for Tiwi. Come here chock full of confidence, Hodgie. Absolutely.
Yeah, probably a bit of foxing from Southern Districts last week. Maybe they're a great side. They're really well coached. They've got a really good side in today. I don't think we'll see a performance like that again. I think they'll back it up with a pretty good one today.
You're probably wondering what all that noise is around us. The Westerlies are blowing in from behind us, and because of the AFL women's match, which is played here a little later on today, we've been shifted from upstairs downstairs. We're in the grandstand where it all happens. Here's Dominic McCormack to get us underway.
Thanks very much, Charlie, and underway we are. Liam Woodcock-Nolan beaten forward by Seb Gilhouse, but straight out of the middle, Ross Tungatullen. Quick kick up on the right boot, up into forward 50. Target Austin Wanameri, shoved his opponent out of the way, couldn't take the mark. Now the relief comes from Southern District. Charlie Marr couldn't take the mark. Ashton Hams gathers. He has a target. He doesn't bother. He just kicks long back in the direction of Austin Wanameri again. Dion Mankara couldn't mark it. Harley Purantatamerri. Great smother came there from Zach Smith. Southern District's looking to hold it up here. In defensive 50, Michael Bowden laying a tackle. And they've achieved exactly that. The Seb Gilhouse comes in now to take his place in the ruck contest.
Biggest man in the competition, Seb Gilhouse, had a stint at Nightcliff, now playing for Southern Districts here. Got the tap down, tried to get it out there. They couldn't. Tiwi Bombers through the agency of Jakura. Whistle goes, umpire comes in, and we'll ball it up again. Pressure on earlier on, all important couple of minutes at the start of the game, Hodge, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Tiwi made their intentions pretty clear, going long each time.
Here's the ball up. He wrestles hard. Gilhouse got the tap down. Big pack of players around it. No clear possession there. Umpire has a bit of a look at it. They're holding. Player goes to ground ball and all. That's Steve Rusker, an umpire for the third ball up in the first couple of minutes of the game.
The umpire holds his hand aloft, looking to see who the ruckman will be. They signal. Gilhouse wins it down easily. Quick kick out comes from Gallio up towards Barlow. Couldn't get anywhere near it. Liam Woodcock-Nolan running for it. So too Sam Dyke will release by hand. Goes to Hams, runs backwards. Looks for a runner in Purantatamerri. That's Jason Purantatamerri, been in outstanding form. Long kick down. The biggest man in the competition. There he is. Seb Gilhouse pulling in his first mark of the afternoon. Handballs off quickly. That's a poor kick. Liam Woodcock-Nolan takes it. Bangs it back from whence it came. Gilhouse underneath it. Challenged by Dion Mankara. Ball falls. Districts again. Quick kick out in the direction of Liam Woodcock-Nolan, grabs it in on the second take.
Oh, the big guys kicking to each other here, Hodgie.
Waxing.
Here's Woodcock-Nolan, spears it with the right boot once. The man in front, Heenan, didn't get to the ball, got knocked away from him, heads out towards the boundary line. Schwarz gets to it, keeps it back in play. Handball was good to Rusker. That's Steve Rusker, smothered and driven out of play ball and kicks it out of bounds on the full, I reckon. What do you reckon, Hodgie?
Interesting start of the game. Both sides setting up really well behind the footy. We've seen big fellas taking marks and making easy rebounds.
Harley Purantatamerri from the 50-metre line on the boundary. Spears it in. It's a good kick. Player charging at the footy. It was measured beautifully. Down on knees, inside 50, sliding for the ball. They take a pretty good mark. So Tiwi Bombers a real chance here. Ball in the hands of Simon Mankara. He won't miss from there, surely.
He's a great kick for goal, Charlie. And the difference with that inside 50, they lowered their eyes, they went low. The last couple of inside 50s, high and long. Gilhouse able to get behind the footy, take the marks, but that was a better inside 50 from Tiwi.
So stay with him, Simon Mankara. Can he bother the scoreboard attendant in the first couple of minutes of this qualifying? Finally kicks it, and he kicks it poorly. He swings it out to the left. Big climb in the goal, on the edge of the goal square. High tackle over the top. Umpire ignores it. Going to ball, ground ball and all was Gilhouse. Handball over the top, looking for Farah. Farah comes from the back pocket. Spears with the left boot. Harley Purantatamerri gets in the way. Dom takes a terrific mark.
Does indeed. The man with the helmet, Harley Purantatamerri. He was perfectly positioned there. It was a poor kick coming out there from Josiah Farah. So Harley Purantatamerri been in very good form the last few weeks for the Tiwi Bombers. Opportunity here. Morris Rioli grandstand side of the ground. Kicking to the airport end with a breeze. So decides to chip to Burgess, shoves his opponent in the back. Farah looks to come away with it by hand, cut off by Dyke. Ross Tongatulum is there, paddles it in front of himself, continues to do just that. Mankara gets a handball away to Jakura, little one to Hams, picks it up on the bounce. Beautiful little chip to Austin Wanameri. And Wanameri been in good goal-kicking form in recent weeks. In the corridor, will have to kick from 50.
Perfect spot for him, Dom. Great beat up to that. The Tiwi Bombers are just set up so well behind the footy. Southern Districts, no opportunity to clear the ball, just numbers behind. So it's been great work for them to start the game.
Austin Wanameri, a noted goal kicker, one might say, in the corridor. This would be the start they'd be looking for. Last kick didn't quite make the distance. A little bit of a stop and stutter approach from Austin Wanameri. That's a beautiful kick on the way. It's touched on the line, is it? It is indeed. Well done, Seb Gillhouse. A one behind is the score. So Tiwi lead by that margin.
It's like having a third goalpost down there with Seb Gillhouse in the defence.
He's a big boy.
So Austin Wanameri kicked 4 last week, the former Demon. Here comes, gee, that's a massive kick out, almost to the wing, goes right to the other side of the ground. Terrific mark taken out there for Southern Districts from the wing. Runners everywhere for them. They charge forward. Ball stays just in the field to play along the boundary line and then goes out. But that from the one kick finished up at almost on the half-forward flank at the other end of the ground.
Yeah, Sean Martin, great kick in. Obviously, he cleared the pack, kicked it really long, exactly what Southern Districts have needed to get the ball into their half of the ground.
So the two big Giants ruck again. Woodcock Nolan against Gillhouse. I think Woodcock Nolan probably got the best of that. Durkay was a chance, didn't get it. Little short kick, comes back into the corridor. They're running forward here. Here they go. Ross Tongatulum spears it inside 50. Mark Drop lands on the ground with a chance to take the mark. Jason Purantatameri didn't get it. Handball to the middle. Southern Districts now out of trouble. Haven't been in the forward line yet, and we've played nearly 6 minutes of play. Here's their first entry inside 50. Big fly at the back, ball knocked away. Lands on the ground. Districts under enormous pressure. Can't get it clear. That's Rosier down there. Now a little kick out down towards the goal line, charging onto the footy. Barlow didn't get it. Kick off the ground. It's a goal, I reckon. Districts took an opportunity to kick the goal off the ground.
That's it. They just went long, Charlie, at every opportunity they could. They linked up really well across half back, got the ball long inside 50. Inside 50s today, I reckon, will equal goals, won't it? So Ed Barlow, fantastic finish there off the ground. Districts hit the scoreboard.
All that work up forward there, Dom, for Southern Districts and for Tiwi, and Southern Districts get one entry inside 50, kick a goal. And doesn't it happen all the time?
It's often the way, isn't it? You work really, really hard, can't put a score on the board. Something unusual happens, the other side does exactly what you don't want them to do.
Fairly good crowd on hand here, enjoying this. Just if you've just joined us, reminding you of that score in that elimination final, 21-10. Tars beat Darwin, 8-9, 78 points margin.
Seb Gillhouse from the ruck contest got it down to Barlow, couldn't handle, came to Hams. They're calling for it as high, but nothing doing, says the umpire. Quality player Ashton Hams tossing up, ball high again. LWN wins it down. Dion Mankara just spins his way out of the pack. How did he do that? Long kick down towards Austin Wanameri, almost with the one hand. Dashes inside, tried to handball off to Mankara, loses possession. Wanameri fighting for it, flicks it along the ground beautifully. Charging in was Brad Valance. Coming out of the way now, Michael Bowden did well. 1-2 back to Bowden. Left foot kick, beautiful. Straight up the middle of the ground. Finds a teammate in Ruska. Ruska long now inside 50. Looking down there for the target of Gallio. Couldn't find him. Now the Tiwi defence looking to work hard and come out. The feint of the handball, beautiful. Now the kick out to the far wing. Target was Hams. Running hard at it here was Dylan McLaughlin. Long kick down towards Farah. That's Will. Couldn't take it under pressure for Purantatameri. Barlow picked up beautifully. Got it away here to Koopman. He is a good kick on goal, Koopman. But the Tiwi Bombers are there in defence through Babui. Looking to extricate themselves here. That's a dangerous kick to Palapuamini. They gather, do Districts. Off to Steve Ruska. Kick on goal. That's a beauty. That's their second. Districts 2 straight 12. Tiwi 1 behind. We've gone 8 minutes in the first quarter.
Dom, you can just feel the pressure from Southern Districts has gone up in the last minute or so, and it's actually causing Tiwi to uncharacteristically turn the footy over a few times, and Districts are capitalising on it. We've seen a matchup with, I think it's Will Farah and Jason Purantatameri. What a matchup that is. That's going to be great throughout the day, but awesome finish here by Stevie Ruska. Puts Districts 2 goals up.
A couple of Ruskas out there playing today. That was a good goal. Brandon Ruska as well. And, of course, their coaches are Ruska as well. They're not his kids, are they?
No, they're nephews, I believe. So Ruska's everywhere.
Now, usually Tiwi Bombers need to get those couple of goals early, don't they? Get the confidence. They haven't got them. Southern Districts have got them instead. But they are winning the clearances out of the middle. Here they come. Here's the kick out wide. They've got a player running all by himself out there. The Shane Tipperman. Tamiri gets to it on the bounce. Comes back in. Handball was a shocker. Straight over the head of Hams. No chance for him to get it. Now they can get the rebound here. Left foot kick from the half-back line up towards the forward line. Jumping high for it. Will Farrer didn't get his hands on it. Ball went to ground gathering. Palapamini gave the handball out to Jason Purantatameri. Back to Palapamini. He looks for a runner. Has Darcy there. Goes short to him. Put it to him onto the bounce. Put him under enormous pressure inside 50. Handball was ordinary. Southern Districts win it. They've got players loose. I think it's Barlow with a bit of a chance. Caught in the tackle. Lost the footy. Pack comes over the top. Here's Barlow looking for it. Can't get it. Michael Dunn's little chip kick off the ground. Went straight into the hands of Steve Rusker. Goes out wide. Kick was terrific. And he finds Barlow in space. And goes short again. Oh, the build-up from Southern Districts. Look out.
Shane Thorne footy in a really easy position for him to score, but their pressure has just gone up tenfold in the last minute or so, and has created scoring opportunities. Tiwi just can't clear the ball. It's very evident.
The former Eagle, former Western Bulldog player, Shane Thorne, has had a bit of a wobbly ride for a while, but he's back on track now, and he's a chance to kick their third. He's in just about point-blank range. He's almost directly in front, and he makes absolutely no mistake. They've got 3 Southern Districts. Oh, they're turning it on here.
They're just turning half opportunities into scoring opportunities, aren't they? Dom across half-back. They're linking up really well with hands, and it's pretty evident that once they get to that midfield, they pull the trigger and get the ball in as far as they can inside 50 to get a scoring opportunity.
And that's been the key, hasn't it? Getting it inside 50 fast.
Yep, inside 50 scores equals scoring opportunities, which means you win the game.
Yep.
It's much more open, their forward line, isn't it?
They have. They've done very well. And Barlow running through from midfield into 50 is causing havoc for them. Ball back in the middle now, and a change in the ruck. Alistair Darcy to go up there against Joshua Innes. Tracking the ball there for Districts was Dean Staunton. A quick kick comes out from the pack. Cut off there by Michael Dunn, one of their noted half-back flank runners. Long kick down inside 50. Austin Wanameri got a fist onto it. Little handball from Farrer. Now the kick comes out to Michael Bowden, the sweeper. Bowden now choosing to go to his right side, given that he's a left footer. Long kick, and there's that man I spoke of a moment ago, Ed Barlow. Ball was intended for him, but instead falls to Charlie Marr. Just stops and props, looking for a target. Finds a target inboard, Rory O'Brien, good player. Another short one to Zach Smith. Good use of the footy here from Southern Districts. Deep loose players here. Brandon Rusker in the middle of the ground. Metres on his opponent. Poor kick from him to Clinton Gallio. Footy goes out wide. Tiwi can't find the handle on the footy, which is unusual. And the ball trickles out of bounds for a boundary throw. In about 40 around from the Southern Districts goal. At the 11.5-minute mark, they lead 3 straight to 1 behind.
Tell you, if I was coach of Tiwi, I'd send a runner out and say, you're not playing St Mary's, you're not going to have all day to get rid of the ball, you've got to work hard for it. Here's Jakura, lost it and fumbled and then knocked it further. Only in the way there. Southern District's got players everywhere. Short kick along the boundary line was pretty good, and the mark taken there.
Pretty handy runner for Tiwi too. Charlie with Cyril Rioli running for Tiwi, so you'd listen to him, wouldn't you, if he came out to you?
Absolutely. Shot from the boundary line way over on that far side. Gee, all the pressure here on the Tiwi Bombers. This is from about 50 metres out. It's going to go to the near side, and I reckon it's gone out of bounds on the full. So the first mistake in a shot for goal from the Southern District side, and the Tiwi Bombers get the opportunity to bring the ball back into play. It's going to go there to Michael Dunn, who wants a different footy. It's a bit like those tennis players when they're serving. They had to look at about 4 balls when they decide which one they want to serve with.
I think they actually got to take the ball that went out of bounds on the full, not the one behind the goals when this happens. So I think that's what they're waiting for. The great Stu Davis walking slowly behind the goals to gather the footy for him.
Michael Dunn in the back pocket. He'll go short with the kick. Worked okay for him too. Gave it off to Dion Munkara. Deep in defence. Off the left boot he goes. Gets it outside 50. It's a good kick. I know he was trying to get it to Darcy. Got away from him towards the boundary line. Hams with a big charge from the back. Did pretty well, Ashton Hams. Merges with the footy from half-back. Looks upfield. Tiwi Bomber runners everywhere. Handball is really good. Simon Munkara steps inside 50. Goes short over the top and just finds his teammate. He took a risk. He didn't know where to go, but he went with the chip in the end. And he found that man there all by himself. I think it's Adam Tippenwoody. Inside 50.
He's had a very strong start to the game, Adam Tipungwuti, as is Simon Munkara. So I think they're on the same page there. They knew what they were doing, but we had no idea, did we, Charlie? They made it look good in the end, and hopefully he can finish this and peg one back on the Crocs.
And old Tiwi telepathy, it must be working. He's along the boundary line. Adam Tipungwuti goes for goal. It's a good-looking kick. It's better than a good-looking kick. It's a beauty. It's a goal. And Southern Districts get there first, but it's taken them a long time to get it. We've gone to nearly 14 minutes of the first term and they've kicked their first goal. Andrew Hodges.
Yeah, outstanding. So great build up to that goal. Great finish by Adam Tipungwuti. You see here Simon Munkara, very smart. Both of them, they could have raffled it between these two guys, but yeah, fantastic finish. Adam Tipungwuti obviously signed with NT Thunder this year. He's one of the most exciting signings we've had this year. So fantastic to see him in such great form.
So the Tiwi Bombers on the board with that goal. Adam Tipungwuti. Southern Districts 3 straight 18. Tiwi 117. The ball tossed high again. Gillhouse wins it down beautifully. Ashton Hams, another possession, just takes control from the middle. Kicks long. Down there, Simon Munkara off hands. First there, Districts. Little left foot chip out towards Charlie Marr. Can't get it before the boundary. The kick came from Liam McGregor. One of District's hard nuts there across their half back line. And a boundary throw in now in front of the faithful here in the Morris Rioli grandstand. Players set themselves. Liam Woodcock-Nolan, Seb Gillhouse. Gillhouse just shrugs him off easily. Bats it down only as far as Harleypur and Tutameri. Quick kick up inside 50. Munkara couldn't take the mark. Belts it on. Taken by Josiah Farah. His handball poor. Burgess left it behind. Harleypur and Tutameri laying the tackle. Dropping the ball was Liam McGregor. And the free kick to be taken by Burgess. So Burgess, a quality player for the Tiwi Bombers. Need a bit of movement here, the Tiwi Bombers. Kicks long, looking down there for Ross Tungatalam. All over him they were. No free kick paid. Gallio slaps it away from the contest. Kick away comes from McLaughlin up centre wing. And a free kick has been paid here. And the free kick going to the Tiwi Bombers.
Yes, a throw, I think. They've called that. Gallio scooped the ball out and Tiwi get the shot on goal. I'm not too sure who that is with the footy in the hand. It'll be Rocco.
It'll be Ross Tungatalam, and a very, very good player indeed. One of the best for the Tiwi Bombers. So Ross Tungatalam, an opportunity here to kick their second in a row. Been a very good player for them now for many years. Left of centre, 45-degree angle, crosses the paint of 50. Sean Martin on the mark, kick on its way. Goal umpire does have some work to do here. It started on target, but then had to shape away to the left-hand side. So a behind here for the Tiwi Bombers. They move on to 1-2-8, trailing Southern Districts by 10 points, 3 straight 18.
Little short kick into the back pocket. They can work it forward here. There might be Zach Smith. Goes along the boundary line. He tried to get it up towards Ed Barlow, but terrific at the back was another number 20, Roy Farmer. Took the mark, speared it inside 50. That was a great kick. And Jason, is it Ross Tungatalam rather?
Ross Tungatalam.
Ross Tungatalam took a fantastic mark. They nailed him, knocked his legs out from underneath him, and he hit the ground heavily. But he's up and having a look. He knows what he's got to do. He's kicking from just inside 50. The angle, not a tough one, Andrew, from there.
No, the wind's going across his right shoulder, so you think if he hit the kick towards the right post, hopefully he'll just drift in, Charlie. But he's really put himself in this game, and he's hopefully can kick this one.
He had a shot just a short time ago that he missed. He's a right footer. He's a good kick at goal. He's a real good kick at goal. He steers it through, and they've got another one. The Tiwi Bombers, after they withstood the early onslaught, have bounced back with a couple of goals.
Yeah, momentum's changed again, hasn't it, Dom? They obviously Districts, really put the heat up there for the couple of minutes, but now Tiwi have turned it back around, and every time Ashton Hams gets his hands on the footy, generally it equates to some sort of inside 50 and a scoring opportunity, and Burgess as well. So if they get the ball in their hands more often, they're going to kick a score.
Good quality players, and when you've got Ross Tungatalam lining up for consecutive shots at goal, he's not going to miss too many in a row, is he?
Don't give him too many chances.
No, don't give him too many chances. And Ashton Hams, your name too. He is really putting an imprint on this game. From the middle, Tiwi almost taking it away. Now Ruska for Southern Districts on the left boot. Out towards Barlow, who's been a real go-to man in the early stages of this game. Silvani Babui leading him to the footy and just belting it out of bounds. So a boundary throw in about 55 around from the Crocodiles goal. Kicking towards the Michael Long centre end. Boundary umpire will be very pleased for some shade down there at this time of the afternoon. Liam Woodcock-Nolan got a fingertip into that, kicked out way there by Rory O'Brien, up towards Barlow, uncontested. Silvani Babui just gave up on that contest there, and Barlow with an opportunity here. He'll have to kick from just inside 50. Michael Dunn now manning the mark. So at the 18.5-minute mark, Southern Districts leading by 4 points. Barlow with an opportunity to extend that again to 10. Crosses 50, kick on its way. He starts it right, and that breeze is just going to push it further and further to the right. No mark taken out there, but it will be a boundary throw-in. So, Andrew, Southern Districts another opportunity to reset.
Yeah, and probably an opportunity wasted. Obviously, that wind's going to play a bit of havoc today and miss some shots on goal.
Probably hear the wind in our microphones here. We're down on the first floor of the grandstand, and the strong westerly's blowing in from behind us. Umpire's picked a free kick. It's going to be a Southern District free kick. Might have been a high tackle.
That was the call, I think, Charlie.
So the free kick,
I think it's going to O'Brien.
It's going to be O'Brien. So Rory O'Brien, who Dom mentioned earlier on, terrific player for Southern Districts. The distance is not a problem from the angles, about 45 degrees. The score at the minute, Southern Districts 3 goals straight, Tiwi 2-2. He can stretch the lead here even further. It's 4 points at the moment. He can make it 10. Rory O'Brien crouches over the footy. Crowd quiet in the tricolours. He emerges forward and he kicks poorly out to the right, comes up with a minor score. Just didn't strike it anywhere near well enough.
Yeah, it looked like he got too close to the man on the mark there, didn't he? Didn't give himself every opportunity to kick that goal. 18
plays 15.
Dion Munkara brings the ball into play, finds Nathan Jakura, takes the mark, and that's going to be cut off. That was well cut off again by O'Brien here. Running shot on goal. Jason Purantatameri's there, and the ball slides across the face. In fact, it's through 4-8 behind.
Bree seems to be playing more havoc to the District's end of the ground, but it's going straight across the ground, which is really interesting.
I think this District's just stagnant, aren't they? They're standing. They need to be, like their pace, their run is what makes them such a good side. They're not doing that. Here's the kick out towards the wing, parked underneath it there with Josh Farrer. Didn't get it. Tried to get a hold of Roy Farmer. Farmer got the best of him. Got the footy as well. Went backwards with the left boot. It's a dangerous kick. Oh, Barlow almost stole it from Michael Dunn. Harley Purantatameri wins it from half-back. Steps one, goes to Dunn. Dunn goes back through an opening and then kicks it out towards the wing. The kick's a good one. Finds Roy Farmer. Takes it in front of us here. We're up in the Morris Rioli stand, and he's taken that mark in the wing right in front of us. Cruising past him was Jakura. Ignored him. Went short along the boundary line. It was a poor kick. Oh, he made it really, really tough for his teammate down there, Burgess. Didn't give him a chance and bounced in front of him and went out of play.
You mentioned, Charlie, that Districts look like they're out on their feet. It's obviously been played at a frenetic pace this first couple of minutes. There's a real danger of trying to play that Tiwi brand of footy. Districts probably just need to get their hands on the footy, maybe control tempo for a few minutes until they get their win back.
Liam Woodcock-Nolan and Seb Gilhouse. Gilhouse all over Woodcock-Nolan and then fell over. Quick kick comes out from the pack, no mark taken. Babui with the quick handball, cut off by Brandon Rusker. His kick up inside 50 is a beauty. Puts it out in front of Mummery, who'll be able to run onto it. Will Farrer charging towards the goal square, jumps, takes the mark in the goal square. This will be a shot from dead in front. And there you go, Andrew. Exactly that moment there where they just used the footy well, did what they needed to do.
And the difference was Tiwi actually turned that ball over. Brandon Rusker stole it and got it inside 50, used it really well.
Farrer kicks his first for the afternoon. That's a welcome return for him. A player who, Hodgie, it has to be said, hasn't been in the greatest of forms this season. So I think that's actually a really important moment for him.
Absolutely.
Ran into space beautifully, took the mark well, as we'll see on the replay shortly, and then kicks a nice goal.
He's had a bit of a back injury the last couple of seasons, Dom, and he's done a fantastic job to get himself right. He's obviously signed with Thunder. He's been in using facilities and rehabbing his back to get himself back in shape, and he's back in the best shape he's been in the last couple of years. So really excited to see how he's going to go today and right throughout the final series.
And Jason Purantatameri started up in the forward line, but he belongs in the back line. It might have upset his concentration, I reckon. He gave Farrer too much room. Now here's the kick out the middle, out towards the boundary line. Sliding after the footy was Bradley Pulapamini. Couldn't keep it in. Rolls away out in front of him and Rory O'Brien up to throw it in. So the clock ticks up to 23 minutes. Might be a minute or two left in it, but gee, the quarter belonging to Southern Districts right at this minute.
Boundary throw in again. Almost one down there for Districts. fighting hard for it there at the ground level. Shane Thorne, ball, socket out. Nathan Jakura calling for it as deliberate. The boundary umpire just casually says throw it in. Thank you very much.
Don't think so, young fella.
Oh, asking for it. Don't know if you don't ask, as the saying goes.
Absolutely.
So boundary throw in now. Ruck set themselves. Alistair Darcy got himself in front. Weldon tapped it straight to Barlow. Kick inside 50. No mark taken offhand. Sam Dyke pushes it towards the boundary. Did well. As the siren sounds for quarter time.
Yes, the score here at quarter time. Southern Districts 4-2, leading the Tiwi Bombers 2-2. 12 points the difference. Let's get some comments from Andrew Hodges on that first quarter.
Yeah, very interesting start to the game. So obviously Tiwi had all the run early on, but then that shifted pretty quickly. Once Districts got control of the footy, used it really well across half back, got it long inside 50, and their pressure was outstanding. So that really got them in the box seat. But then Tiwi fought back and basically turned the tide with that pressure, and they used the ball a bit better. So very interesting game. It's pretty hard to say which way this one's going to go, guys. I think both sides have shown some really good form early on, and really looking forward to seeing how it pans out.
Should correct that score too. 4-2 to 2-2, so the margin 12 points here at quarter time. Some good players out there from both sides. Hodgie, who stood out for you?
Absolutely. I think Hams, when he got his hands on the footy for Tiwi, Ross Tunga-Tallman posed himself, especially at that first centre bounce, got the first clearance and then had a few shots on goal. But Districts, Barlow, those Gilhouse in the ruck, they really imposed themselves. But I thought Bowden for them across half back was really, really impressive. He had a lot of touches early on and used the ball really well and was just composed for them, which when they had that bit of a run in momentum, he was the driving force behind that.
See Bishop Eugene Hurley, who's a big St Mary's supporter, walking out towards the Tiwi Bombers. They might need a little bit of intervention from up high, the Tiwi Bombers. They're in a little bit of trouble at the moment. Not in big trouble, but just a little bit of trouble. They're being exposed, I reckon, a little bit. They're trying to play that Tiwi style of footy you talked about, not quite working for them.
Yeah, but even early on, Charlie, you saw those inside 50s. Uncharacteristically, they went long inside 50. They don't have really a marking target down there. As soon as they went inside 50, lowered their eyes, hit Simon Munkara on the chest. That's the type of Tiwi footy I think Brenton Troy will be talking to them about right now, is lower your eyes, going inside 50. We've got plenty of guys coming up at the ball. Make sure you hit them, and we're going to get scoring opportunities from it. So we know that they finish off games really well. They're in really good form. They're a fit side. They're going to run it out, and their defence have been outstanding so far. Sam Dyke's been really good down back, and putting Tatameri, that's an interesting move. He did start forward, and then he went back, and you know, that one on him on Farah, I just can't wait to see how that's going to pan out through the day. I think that's going to be a really exciting matchup.
Fumble-free footy they played last week, Tiwi Bombers. We saw them, didn't we, Dom, out of Tracy Village. They hardly made a mistake. They are fumbling a bit today because of the pressure that's exerted on them.
Well, again, you made the call earlier on, Charlie, that last week, of course, they played St Mary's, who finished last this season, and weren't really in the contest at all last week. So Tiwi, to me, had quite an easy game. Fumble-free footy, but the pressure really wasn't there. Southern Districts, of course, got belted this week, so last week, I should say. So from a mindset perspective, Southern Districts are coming into this game thinking we've really got to improve from what we did last week. Really got to come into this game strongly. Perhaps Tiwi came into it thinking, gee, we're a good team. We're a great side. We're really going to do this quite well. And just the way that they've started in the first quarter, once that pressure was on, fumbled and carried on a little bit. So I'm sure Brenton will be getting them together there now and saying, fellas, welcome to finals footy. You're going to have to lift in this second quarter. You had the breeze, you had opportunity, didn't make the most of it. You're going to have to lift now in this second quarter.
It's a great point, Dom. The finals footy's a funny thing, isn't it? The quarters don't change, the football doesn't change, the size of the field, it's just finals footy, the pressure that comes on, and I think that's what's happened to Tiwi early on. They did fumble. You wouldn't normally see that, but I think Brenton will be saying exactly that to them right now, is get yourself into this game, calm yourself down, let's start controlling the tempo of the game, and they know they've got the skill to score and score really quickly, haven't they? So this is going to be, you know, a really good second quarter. Hopefully, you know, we see both sides really put their best foot forward. Special
comments there from Andrew Hodges, was the Thunder coach, now manager of the Thunder Football Club. Talk to you about that a little later on, but what might be in the back of Brenton Toy's mind, last week Southern Districts after half-time were outscored 12 goals to 1. They shut up shop at half-time. They had nothing left. Have they got a trouble with, can they run out 4 quarters?
Yeah, I think they definitely can. I think they've proved that right throughout the year. So, look, I don't think that's a concern for them. I think, you know, they'll just hit the scoreboard as much as they possibly can, inside 50s, get the clearance and play their brand of footy.
Good crowd on hand here, enjoying this footy earlier in the day, which is pretty good. Although triple headers normally start around about this time, don't they? This will be the second match of a triple header. There's no third match here tonight.
That's right.
Well, there is, but it's not an NTFL finals match.
Game. Shannon Rusker there with the team around him. Matt Cannard assisting there, just going over to Ed Barlow. Quality players there, of course, for Southern District. And gee, didn't Ed Barlow have a quality first quarter? You talk about good players putting their hands up. Ed Barlow was certainly one of them. We saw Steve Rusker really come out and play strongly, I thought, there in that first quarter. Rory O'Brien for Southern Districts do well. You know, and Tiwi from a forward line perspective, often Montgomery got his hands on the footy, Ross Tongatalum got his hands on the footy, and so too Simon Munkara. Interesting that all three of those had good touches inside 50, and yet it only yielded 2 goals.
Yeah. Good players stand up in finals, don't they?
They do.
Adam Tippenwoody, Ross Tongatalum have kicked the goals for Tiwi, and the goals for Southern District, Shane Thorne, Steve Rusker, Ed Barlow and Will Farah. You wouldn't want those guys to be kicking multiples today. Real trouble for Tiwi Bombers if they do. So the breeze is strong. You might be hearing it to tell you wherever you're watching or listening to this. The westerlies are blowing in from behind us, which you don't get this time of the year in Darwin. You don't get strong westerlies coming in, but we are, for some reason, we've been getting them
for weeks now.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think there was some weather off to the east of us and pulled the rain away from us, and then the breeze came in behind it. I don't know. I can't understand it.
I'm not even going to try and guess the weather, Charlie. I've got no idea.
An honest appraisal there.
Oh, goodness me. 4-2 to 2-2. Just earlier today, if you've just joined us and wondered what happened in the elimination final, well, I'll tell you who got eliminated, the Buffaloes, and they got eliminated by plenty, by 78 points in the end. The Warriors showed just how good they are. 21 goals, 10 to 8 goals, 9. I'll tell you what, these two teams here, you would not want to be thinking about who you're going to play next week, because if you come up against a red-hot Waratah outfit, you're in for a really big game, aren't you?
You'd want to have a crack at Nightcliff next week to try and get into the grand final. So a lot on the line for these two sides today, even though they do get the second chance. And like you said, Waratahs have been in outstanding form, haven't they, Charlie? So yeah, you've got to be really careful. Make sure you try and get through this one and win the game. Haven't
seen a team use the ball as well as I saw them today. Gee, they kicked a possession. Here we go, the second quarter about to get underway. Here's Dominic McCormack.
Southern District's in the lead here by 12 points. Liam Woodcock-Nolan resumes his battle with Seb Gillhouse. Seb Gillhouse wins that down beautifully to Gallio. Releases by hand quickly. Ball held up just forward of the centre line in Southern District's favour. Dion Munkara gets up, and so too does Dean Staunton, little gingerly. Umpire tosses the ball high. Gillhouse again wins it down beautifully. Burgess over the footy. Jumps in there, flicked out. Gallio in front. Got himself right in front there of William Purantata-Merry. Now coming away with it was Shane Thorne. Lovely handball to Staunton. Staunton run down. Farah, that's Will, running at the footy beautifully. Alistair Darcy takes possession. Can he get it to Jakura, who's just floating around? He can. He got it away to the run of Dunn. Michael Dunn up through centre wing. Now the footy kicked socket towards Hams. Contest between he and Bowden. Bowden kept his feet and did magnificently. The left footer bombing away inside 50. No mark to Will Farah. Off hands. Alistair Darcy, the sweeper, gets the handball away here to Tippenwoody. And this is where they've been falling down a little bit. The Tiwi Bombers need some runners coming with them. Alistair Darcy stepping around Staunton. Goes to a teammate in Silvani Babui, who'd made space beautifully.
Babui straightens it up and goes at right angles. Kicks to the edge of the corridor defensively. Edge of the square. And they've got the ball in the hands there of Dion Munkara. And he's going right back inside the defensive 50. Jason Purantata-Merry in acres out there. Can take a bounce or two. Gets one and then goes again. He's got two. We saw him have 5 in a row here one day. He got onto the right boot, went with the kick. It's not good enough. Went right over the top and cut off back there by Charlie McAdam.
So McAdam now brings it inboard to Gallio. And that passage of play just cut off way too quickly for the Tiwi Bombers. Long kick out now towards Koopman. Couldn't take it. Contest. Can the ball get to Dykes? The handball comes out. Dykes charges at it. Releases. Goes to Jakura. Needs to find a target. And he does. The run now of Dion Munkara loses the handle of the footy. Completely unusual for Dion Munkara. LWN goes crashing in. Now the ball comes to Hams. Releases to Munkara. Nice hands to Burgess. On the run to Patrick Heenan. First time we've called him. And as he was being thumped to ground, he managed to get boot to ball and onto the chest of Simon Munkara.
They just streamed form in numbers, and didn't they, guys? It was fantastic to watch. But yeah, Paddy Heenan probably a lucky kick in the end there. Simon Munkara in the right spot, right on his chest.
Well, exactly the way now that they would like to start this second quarter, the Tiwi Bombers, if he can put this through. And unusual that we haven't really called Patrick Heenan in the first quarter. Kick on its way now. Simon Munkara, low trajectory drop punt, and it fades away to the right-hand side. So Tiwi Bombers 2-3-15, Southern Districts 4-2-26.
Send the runner out and say, when you're kicking for goals, aim at the left-hand goalpost if you're kicking down to the Michael Long centre, because the breeze is so strong, it's going to blow it away. It blew it away then. Here's the ball on the boundary line. Comes back towards Woodcock Nolan. They held him without the footy, big Seb Gillhouse. The call was for the free kick. Umpire ignored it, and the ball was seen out of play in the hands of Simon Munkara. Back on the, well, between the half-forward line and the wing. Marara Stadium here in Darwin. Qualifying final winner goes through to a game against Nightcliff. Loser has to front up against Waratah next week in another elimination final. Here's the throw in. These two big men stand together out there. Gillhouse gets to front and taps it with both hands. Did it really well. Back towards the boundary line. Chase towards the boundary line. Gallio couldn't keep it in. Carries it out of play.
Yeah, that was an interesting one there, wasn't it, Dominic? I think, yeah, umpire's given him the benefit of the doubt, maybe.
You're a very kind man, Andrew Hodges. Very kind man.
He started to impose himself on the game, though, Clint Gallio. He's had his hands on the footy this quarter a little bit more.
Quality player. Ruck contest, Gillhouse. Talk about imposing yourself. That was beautifully tapped down, but the first person there was Ashton Hams. He was taken high by Dean Staunton and takes the free kick. Can they make use of this now? Lots of space inside forward 50. What's the plan? Kick to space. Austin Wanameri. That was the play. It was so easy, wasn't it? Austin Wanameri knew exactly where he had to go. Hams knew exactly where he was kicking. Wanameri takes the mark in the corridor. Outstanding
finish. I don't know how Dean Staunton got Hams high there. Dean Staunton's probably the shortest man on the field.
And Hams was lying on the ground.
Yeah, but great finish. What we said earlier, late in the last quarter, the first quarter, sorry, Hams, every time he gets the hands on the ball, he's going to do something with it, isn't he? So he's very, very important for Tiwi Bombers.
Cyril Rioli on the run out there. Will he go to the former AFL player and tell him to aim at the left-hand goalpost?
Let's see after the kick as to whether he should or shouldn't have, Charlie. Wanameri kicks on goal. He did aim at the left. He did aim to the left, Charlie, and he's kicked the goal. Tiwi Bombers back in this game. 3-3-21. Southern Districts 4-2-26.
You can't beat smarts and an experienced player. Austin Wanameri, great finish, and Hams before that. But yeah, the wind is definitely playing havoc at that end of the ground, guys. I think excellent finish by Austin, but yeah, they're going to have to be really careful going to the end of the ground. And knowing Brenton Choi, I reckon he would have sent the message out to his forwards to let him know that as well.
Because that grandstand ends about the half-forward line, and then there's the Michael Long centre, so the breeze can get through. If it's a westerly, it'll blow right across the face of goal. So you've got to take that into consideration.
Especially if you're lining up in front of the grandstand, you're probably not going to feel that breeze. Once the ball gets past that, it's going to take it. Exactly. So you need to allow for it.
So into the middle, Gillhouse gets up and thumps it out of the middle. Did really well, got it to a teammate. Couldn't get clear with it. Tackle laid on there. Ball held up in the middle. Umpire to ball it up again as we tick past the 5-minute mark. Score check here. Southern Districts 4-2, Tiwi 3-3. So Gillhouse got a backhanded tap down. Pack of players around this. Not going to get out of there, I don't think. Some ferocious tackling being laid on. Umpire, do you know what? The next one, they'll pick a free kick out of it. 2 ball-ups in a row. Third one, you've got to get a free kick, I reckon. Let's see what happens here. Umpire throws it aloft. Gillhouse again wins the tap down. They don't have to give a free kick. Southern Districts win it legitimately and kick it down towards the forward line. Rolling ball there out in front of Jess Koopman. Tiwi Bombers on the clean-up. Kick up towards centre half back and getting in the way. They're taking a very strong mark was Charlie McAdam. Chips it short, was a good kick. Gave it off to Shane Thorne and hit him right between the eyes. Well, that's where his hands were. And have a shot from inside 50, probably about 40 metres out. Tough angle.
Yeah, it is a tough angle, but if anyone can finish it, Shane Thorne, he's a very good kick for goal. Very technically perfect almost, but just disappointing from Tiwi there. That turnover really going to cost them here in the end. So they just started to peg their way back. They need to make sure that they're 100% efficient with the ball.
So here he comes. Shane Thorne got a goal to his name already. Crosses 50. He's a right footer. He leans back. He kicks at goal. He kicks magnificently and he gets another one. He becomes the first multiple goal scorer. Thorne's got 2. Southern Districts kick away.
Goal umpire didn't move. Perfect kick for goal. Didn't forget about the breeze. It's not going to worry Shane Thorne. He kept it nice and low and kicked it nice and hard through the middle of the goals, didn't he?
5-2 to 3-3. Early stages of the second term here. 7 minutes gone.
Interesting watching that piece of play there, Andrew. Silvani Babui running close to the goal line there. His teammates were urging him to come back to the grandstand side, and he just ignored them completely.
Yeah, he had numbers out this side. He just picked the wrong side.
Back in the middle now. Darcy wings it down. Charging through was Rusker. Steve. Good quick kick out came again from Steve Rusker. No mark taken at centre half back by Puruntuta Mary, but he managed to kick it forward. Now Adam Tipungwuti puts on the afterburners and then kicks poorly. Ball cut off. Well read there by Rory O'Brien in front of Shane Tipungwuti Mary. Rusker juggles but takes the footy in front of Patrick Heenan. Kicks right across the half back line, and waiting out there for him is Zach Smith. Good shepherd put on there by the big man too in Sean Martin. Now a long kick out towards centre wing. Charlie Marr caught with the footy, and a free kick is going to be paid here for a high tackle, and that will go against Adam Tipungwuti. Play on quickly out to Staunton. Good movement here by Southern Districts, controlling the footy, and by himself almost was Valance. Crashing in strongly was Palapo. I mean, he did very well in the contest. Staunton close to the boundary line, picking up the footy, couldn't get away a clean handball, but again a high tackle free kick. Staunton 2 times in a row there winning the free kick, and now should be able to kick the ball inside 50. In fact, he chooses to go backwards slightly to the goal kicker Shane Thorne. Given that he's already kicked 2 goals, it's probably a good decision. So the man on the mark here, 52 from goal, Harley Puruntuta Mary. Short kick, too easy. Steve Rusker in the corridor, 45 from goal.
Yeah, 2 Tiwi players standing either side of Steve Rusker there. Great kick from Shane Thorne inside 50. Really poor checking. Those 2 guys easily could have shut that down. Really, you wanted Shane Thorne to have a shot from goal at that 52-metre mark and give him every opportunity. But Steve Rusker, be interesting to see how he finishes this.
Steve Rusker has had an extremely consistent start to this game. Very good in the first quarter. Now an opportunity to put a goal beside his name. Kicks on goal, and that is a beautiful kick. He puts the 6th goal on the board for Southern Districts. Steve Rusker, and he kicks his 2nd. It joins Shane Thorne as a multiple goal scorer. So 6-2, 38 Southern Districts, now leading the Tiwi Bombers 3-3-21. Up the tempo a bit, haven't they, guys? They really have, and a lot of pressure on the Tiwi Bombers, forcing those turnovers we don't normally see. You talked about it last week. They just didn't fumble and make those mistakes, but today the pressure from Southern Districts has really gone up tenfold, and it's causing a bit of havoc. And it's probably the time now where Tiwi really need to press on. Seb Gilhouse is off the ground. They've lost that dominance in the ruck, Southern Districts. It'll be interesting to see if Tiwi can get one back here.
So doing the ruck work will be Innes. But that kick then by Rusker. As soon as his boot hit it, he turned around clapping. He knew it was going to be a goal. Comes out of the middle. They won the tap and they won the clearance. High tackle over the top there. Tiwi will win a free kick. Advantage play. They charge through the middle. Jason Nostitz, Ross Duggar tell him they got him. He got the handball away. He was so lucky. Kick comes out wide. Beautiful kick along the boundary line almost. Gets it out wide there into the hands of Martin. Martin spears it up further, finds Rory O'Brien. Forward of the wing out on the grandstand side. Looks inside 50. Just 2 players down there. Will he bomb it long? He has a look. He's waiting. There's nothing on offer. Now he goes. Kicks poorly. He took too long. He agonised over it and he kicked it out of bounds. And the free kick there going to Randy Mungatopi at halfback. So the Tiwi Bombers now need to find a target, get themselves out of their defensive zone. Little short kick to Roy Farmer. Takes the mark at left half-back, close to the boundary line. Morris Rioli grandstand side of the ground. Dean Staunton on the mark, always working hard. Roy Farmer, the long kick down the line. He's got no tall timber to go to there at all. And the only tall timber there, Ed Barlow, takes the mark. Spears a pass in. Mark taken. Well done there by McGregor, handballing off here to Steve Rusker. Little cute handball back to McGregor. Kicks long now through half forward. Mark to be taken by Beau Schwarz. Drops it, has time to recover. Little chip is poor. Jason Puruntuta Mary drops a mark he should have taken. Babui flicks up a handball to Puruntuta Mary. Tiwi Bombers in a little bit of trouble here, but Jason Puruntuta Mary finds Roy Farmer. Farmer from the back pocket. Kicks and kicks and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Wow. He wanted a target and he didn't get it. He had to hug the boundary line with it. Now the free kick in the hands here of Mummery. So Michael Mummery, haven't called him much in this game so far. He's a long way out from goals. He bangs it long right down to the corner of the forward pocket. Tiwi Bombers get there in numbers. Can't get clear. Finishes up in the hands of Burgess. Burgess decked as he tried to run away. Shane Thorne ran right through him, put him to ground. What will the ruling be on all of this? It's going to be
a gold logie and a boundary throw.
Yes, it's going to be a boundary line throw in. Deep down in the forward line here for the Southern Districts team.
Up goes the big fellow in Gillhouse, wins it to the back of the pack easily. Hams, gathers. Gee, that was beautifully done. Got it away to Woodcock Nolan. He just pokes it out towards Adam Tippenwoody. Back to Dyke. There's been a clash of heads behind the play. Players are down. Long kick out here towards Cooper. Can he gather? He can. Just steps away from Josiah Farrow, which is a very nice move. Now a terrible kick to Adam Tippenwoody. Barlow missed it with the toe poke. Tippenwoody picks up on centre wing. Now drills a pass here towards a teammate in the form of Shane Tipmundermerry. He gathers, handballs towards Cooper, gathers, spins around, almost confused himself there. Back to Shane Tipmundermerry. The long bomb inside 50. There's nobody there. Charging at it was Zach Smith. Gathers, handballing away. The District's defence working nicely here. Bowden with the little left footer out to Staunton. Can they clear it? A little bit of pressure comes. Handball to Valance. The long kick. Southern District's back inside 50. Farrow goes high. Puruntuttamerry there. Tried to paddle it instead of grabbing it. Ball come back to him. Got it here to Randy Mungatobi. Chain of handballs gets back to Hams. Hams puts it out towards Dykes. Challenging there was Dean Staunton. Will gather. Will he get the shepherd? He doesn't need it. Almost handballed away, challenged again at ground level, released by hand. Patrick Heenan over the footy, goes to Jakura, soccers up, gets it to Burgess, couldn't handle, pressure immense. Tackle was excellent, holds the ball in, and that was a wonderful piece of play by the Tiwi Bombers and the Southern District Football Clubs.
An outstanding call, Dom, as well. That was fantastic to listen to the great man work there. That was very well done, but very interesting, that passage of play.
So the tap down from the middle now, no one getting clear. Pack comes over, they're going to ball it up again. That was amazing play there for about 2 or 3 minutes of just quality footy.
And the commentary was equally as good.
Yeah, beautiful stuff, Doma. So ball up here, edge of the square. Tap down, no clearance yet. Now Southern Districts get out. Inside 50, running hard at the footy. They do take the mark there. They can run clear. Roy Farmer comes from the back line out towards the wing. Kick was terrific. Got to Adam Tippenwoody. Got on the right boot. Speared it up inside 50. That's a terrific kick. Put it in the hands of Cooper. Cooper with a handball over the top to Jakira. Goes to 360. Got it on the right boot. He's got a runner going for him. Tried to get it off to him. Michael Cooper. Cooper with a couple around him. They gave away the free kick. He could have played on. He didn't. He probably should have. If this one works on the mark, he's done the right thing, and it does. He gets it to Ross Tungatulum. He threaded the needle to get it to him. He had 2 defenders on him, and Ross Tungatulum got it delivered on his chest.
Yeah, outstanding kick, and Rocco, hopefully you'd think would finish this to bring that gap back a little bit, but outstanding play. They just haven't been that direct as that Tiwi the first half of the quarter. Then as soon as they are a bit more decisive with their decision making, they've got a shot on goal.
Here he is, RT they call him. He's a fantastic footballer. He's a beautiful runner. He's a good kick at goal as well, but he's missed this one. He's kept it to the near side. Didn't allow for the breed, Roscoe, and come up with a minor score. Looks a bit disappointed in himself, so he should be. 6-2 to 3-4 here. 15.5 minutes gone in the second term.
Thumping kick in. Valance wasn't looking at the footy. Didn't have to. Liam Woodcock-Nolan missed it, now socket off the ground. Michael Dunn kept his eye on the footy but missed it. Rory O'Brien gathers, kicks out into space here for Will Farrer. Has got metres of space on his opponent, now needs to grab the handle, and he does. Barlow running into position beautifully, missed that completely. Roy Farmer did well, gathers. Sweeping handball here comes to Mungatobi. His kick is good. Goes to Harley Puruntuttamerry at centre half back. Didn't take the mark. Tried to step opponent again. Loses the footy. No, he doesn't. High tackle goes against Brandon Rusker. Well, Harley Puruntuttamerry is very fortunate.
He's kicked down the middle. He went down the corridor. Did really well with it. Gave it to William Virgil Puruntuttamerry. He looks around. He doesn't know where he's going to go. He's going to play on now. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. He got the handball away. Gave it off to Christian Burgess. Kick out towards the wings. A good one. Searching for Jakura. Kick got away from him. Gave every chance to Charlie McAdam. Comes back with a handball. Linked it up pretty good to Bowden. Bowden off the left boot. Goes along the boundary line. Will he keep it in play? No, he won't. It'll roll out of play in front of the scoreboard on the far side of the ground. 6-2 Southern Districts. Tiwi 3-4. Almost 17 minutes gone second term.
We know Southern Districts are such a great side. You've got to take your opportunities when you get them against them and just not turn the footy over. And Tiwi have done far too much of that this quarter. They just need to get back to controlling the game.
Boundary throw in again, very shallow. Seb Gillhouse has read that beautifully, ran straight onto it, released the ball to a teammate. Now kick up inside 50 again. Barlow the target, gathers, quick kick into space. Run onto that, he says. Patrick Heenan charging at it, and a push in the back is going to be the call. Jess Koopman was the one who got his body in front and wins the free kick. Heenan pleading his case. He better be careful lest they give a 50-metre penalty. So Koopman finds himself dead in front, 40 out.
You wouldn't want to give away a 50 with the wind doing what it's doing, Dominic. So let him have this hard shot from about 25 metres out. But very unfortunate there, Paddy Heenan. He did everything right. He closed the gap on his opponent, just a little bit sloppy in the contest.
Interesting, though, Southern Districts have put themselves in front when it's counted with their body. Koopman just drives this low. That is a magnificent kick, and he puts himself on the board this afternoon for the first time. More importantly, Southern Districts 7-2-44, leading the Tiwi Bombers 3-4-22. It's an even 22-point margin at the 18-minute mark. Yeah, it's a great point you make, Dominic. Obviously, finals footy, the tempo goes up a little bit. If you put your body in front of the contest, give yourself every opportunity to be first at the ball. You're going to win the ball, or you're potentially going to win a free kick or draw a free kick. So very important. Tiwi probably just need to turn the tide on that a little bit, get in front, go hard at the footy, and make sure that they use the ball a bit better in these next couple of minutes.
They've got to be really careful now this next few minutes, you're right, because they've kicked 3-1 in this quarter, Southern Districts, and they're just starting to shake the shackles here. They've won the handball out of the middle, was pretty good, and the kick from the defensive side of the square, searching down there for Dean Staunton, didn't get him. Kick comes out wide, Bowden in good position. Bowden, that was Bo Schwartz takes the mark. Knocked out of his hand after he took the mark, but it's okay, says the umpire. Dion Mankara stands on the mark, goes across. Do you know when a team's dominating, you look up and they've always got extra players at the fall of the ball? And that's what we're seeing here with Southern Districts. Just too many players loose here. Win out on the wing. Spearing kick is okay. And the mark taken out there on that far side of the ground. It's by that man again who's been terrific today so far, Ed Barlow. In further, and a kick down towards the top of the goal square. Ball knocked, handball clear. See, we can get away here. They've got runners coming out from half back. Nothing upfield for them though. Nothing at all. A little bit of a fumble off the left boot. The kick to 1-on-3. 1-on-3. The boundary line's the only saviour. He was praying for it, Dion Mankara, and his prayers were answered. The kick from Ross Tungatulum wandered over the boundary line and affected a throw.
It was a great idea. You did make the point, Charlie, that actually had no one down. Dion Mankara ran 50 metres then to give an option to Ross Tungatulum. So outstanding.
Ross Tungatulum, what a beautiful disposal of the footy he is. Gillhouse again winning a contest, running off the back here. Josiah Farah with pace. Bradley Palapurmini chases him, got him just as he kicked the footy. Doesn't matter. Innes, he has taken the mark at centre half forward. Farah still down behind play. Innes's kick was terrible. William Virgil Puruntatameri gathered, handballed. There's going to be a free kick. Advantage will be paid. Now Tiwi with an opportunity here. Their forward line needs to move here. Palapurmini drives a pass in. Looking out here for Austin Wanameri. Clears away one opponent. Drops the ball on the boot. Mankara in the corridor, 35 metres from goal.
That's where the first kick should have went to Simon Mankara. He's by himself. They went to the boundary line instead.
But quick ball inside 50, guys. It left 1-on-1. Districts have been great at setting up numbers behind the play this quarter. Tiwi go in fast. Southern Districts don't have an opportunity to set up.
So Simon Mankara here, just slightly right of centre. Well and truly within his range here. Needs to put the fourth goal on the board for the Bombers. Kicks the ball low, fades it to the right, another behind. 3-5-23, trail Southern District, 7-2-44. We're into time on here at the 21-minute mark.
A couple of bad misses here. They've had chances at that end of the ground, and they haven't worked it pretty well, or well enough. They're going to get out of trouble here, Southern District. They go along that far side of the ground, runners everywhere for them. Closing in very quickly there, Shane Tipperman-Tamiri didn't get to the footy. They got the kick out wide, sitting under the footy. Oh, chance to take the mark and dropping with Michael Mummery. And Tiwi Bombers can clean up across their defensive back line. They go, and the short kick's going to finish up with Michael Dunn and make it extremely hard for him. He's under enormous pressure. They come at him. Koopman comes hard at him. He lost the footy. He might have lost his nerve as well. Handball back towards the boundary line. Too many Southern District players here. Pat comes over the top. Umpire says, "I'll hold it up." And he does. And under real pressure down there, Sam Dyke. He's been a good defender, Dyke. He's held him up. He's done more down there than some of his teammates.
He's done an outstanding job. His teammates just fumbled the ball at key times and when they couldn't afford to. Great job for Sam Dyke to cover that.
Ball tossed high. Barlow wins it down. Nice little handball from Farah. Good quick exchange here. The kick came from Rosier. The up and under. Jason Purantatameri waits underneath it and takes the mark. Making space really quickly was Sylvani Babui. Takes the mark in the back pocket. Goes long. Looking out here for Patrick Heenan. Takes the mark. Centimetre perfect was that kick. That was brilliant. Now Patrick Heenan looking for Dion Munkara as the siren sounds for half-time.
So at half-time here, Southern District 7-2 lead the Tiwi Bombers 3-5. Been a pretty good quarter there by Southern Districts. They kick 3-1 and they take a handy lead in at half-time. Get some thoughts from you on that quarter.
Yeah, we mentioned it throughout the quarter. I think Districts, just their pressure went up and their decision-making was a lot better than what Tiwi's was. And they simply just worked harder, didn't they? They plenty of times there, you see the ball come in one side, Districts would then switch it out the other side. And they always had numbers on their bike getting out the other side. And they just outworked Tiwi for majority of that quarter, which equated to on the scoreboard as well.
Just give us some of your better players in both those teams.
Well, I think Sepp Gilhouse given him first use and the ruck was outstanding. Bowden across half-back was very good again, but Josiah Farrow, I thought he went up another cog in that quarter.
His pace has been really important.
Yeah, a lot of run-down chases from behind and really put that pressure on the Tiwi players. But Rory O'Brien, outstanding around the footy, and Gallio getting his hands on it again was outstanding. On the flip side, Dyke down back, Simon Munkara forward. When they get it forward, he just looks so dangerous. And Ross Tangatalam just in patches look very dangerous. They probably just need a little bit more from him for longer in a quarter to impose themselves on the scoreboard.
Thanks for that, Andrew Hodges, with special comments here. Dominic McCormack with us as well. We're in the grandstand at the Marara Stadium here in Darwin. It's half-time in this qualifying final, and Southern Districts have the lead by 21 points. 7-4 to the Tiwi Bombers, 3-5. The earlier game saw Darwin eliminated at the hands of the Warriors. Waratahs beat them 21 goals, 10-8-9. The margin 78 points. But half-time here, Southern Districts by 21 points. More from Marara after the half-time break.
Changeover.
Just like that. Good to see you, mate.
How are you? I haven't seen you for a long time.
A long time.
Used to work with those kids back when you were at the council.
I've seen him retired now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The whiskers suit you, mate. They look good.
I mean, it's about this high.
You're looking slim and well.
You're a very kind man, Joe.
Very observant. Thanks, man. All right, guys.
That was amazing.
I'm waiting for them to stop. Please turn over.
Better cut that bit out.
And it kept building.
Come on, John.
Don't hand it over.
Very good.
Here we are at Windy Hill this afternoon.
Very loud.
Thank
Second half not that far away. Margin 21 points here, 7 goals to 3 goals 5. They're deadly accurate, Southern Districts. They deserve the lead. They've been very, very impressive in this first half of footy. And earlier today, it was the Warriors over Darwin by 78 points. Waratah winning 21 goals 10 to Darwin 8 goals 9. So Darwin are out. Waratah to play the loser of this game, and the winner of this game between Southern Districts and Tiwi take on Nightcliff next week for a spot in the grand final. 7-2 to 3-5. Let's get some thoughts from Andrew Hodges firstly, and then Dominic McCormack.
Yeah, really interesting first half of footy, guys. Districts definitely look like the more dominant side out of the two. You know, had really good contributors right across the board. They probably just outworked Tiwi more than anything, and their pressure was outstanding when it mattered. And you know, Tiwi had such a good start to the game, but just probably haven't stayed in it as long. Their intensity in the quarters hasn't been as long as what Southern Districts has. And Southern Districts probably have double the amount of inside 50s, Dom, I reckon, and they've made the most of their opportunities, where Tiwi just probably haven't made the most of them at the moment.
Yeah, look, I think that's absolutely spot on. The pressure's been terrific from Southern Districts. They've really worked hard, I think, and one of the great examples, I think, in that second quarter was Dean Staunton. 2 times in a row he got himself in front and got free kicks and was able to get the ball inside 50. And then once they have, as you just mentioned, they've taken their opportunities. Only 9 scoring shots to 8. 1 scoring shot the difference, and yet 21 points is the difference on the scoreboard. So taking those opportunities, and then when Tiwi Bombers have had the footy, they've been under pressure, so haven't been able to use it that well.
So the real question now is going to be asked on Southern Districts after their fade out last week, if I can call it that, against Nightcliff. They only kicked 1 goal after half time. They wouldn't repeat that here today, would they? Not the way they're playing, you wouldn't think.
You wouldn't think so. So much on the line too, Charlie. An opportunity to play Nightcliff next week in a game to get into the grand final. So a lot on the line for those guys. Obviously last year's premiers, they're a pretty proud club. They'd be really disappointed with last week's performance, well below what their season has been. So they'll really want to kick on with it this quarter and really put it to bed as soon as they can. But Tiwi, we've seen them late in games really come hard late, haven't they? They can score really quickly, and Dom made a great point. There's only 1 scoring shot the difference, and Tiwi can turn that around so quickly. We know they're so skillful, and they can hit the scoreboard really quickly.
Oh, they rush goals through so quickly. 3 or 4 on the trot, they can do it. Can we just ask you then, is your new role as Thunder manager of the Thunder Football Club changed for you after coaching them for a few years? How are you feeling with your new role? Oh,
I'm loving it, Charlie. It's really good. I've enjoyed the list management side of it. Obviously, our senior NTFL side's pretty close to being full now, and we've had some really good signings throughout this week. You know, Nate Paredes was a big one for us. Michael Bowden, who's been in fantastic form today across halfback for Southern Districts, and Josiah Farrell, the second of the 2 Farrell brothers, has come on board. So really excited by that, and you know, really good feeling around the club at the moment. Darren Reeves is doing an outstanding job. Guys are in doing the work. We're helping getting them through the NTFL season, making sure they're fit and healthy for their NTFL club, but also preparing them for a big NTFL season ahead. And the VFLW, Heidi Thompson's doing a great job there as well, putting together that list. So we'll see some announcements around the women's space pretty soon in the next couple of weeks.
Did you look into state?
With the women's team or both
teams?
The men's team, yeah, absolutely. Jack Hanneth was probably our biggest signing. A genuine ruckman that's played at AFL level, massive for us. For him, he's relocated to the Territory, and he's just, him and his partner Olivia are loving the life in the Territory at the moment. So he's fitted right in. He's been fantastic. And Clint Gallio has also moved up from South Australia. Obviously, the son of the great Wally Gallio here playing the Southern Districts today, but he'll wear the Thunder colours throughout the NTFL season in 2019.
Andrew Hodges, our special comments man here. Any spots left in there? Because he's going to suggest Dom and a few friends of mine.
Look, Dom, we'd love to have Dom running off a halfback flank. I reckon he'd be outstanding.
No, he would not. I can tell you that straight up.
Any spots left, though? Seriously?
There's a couple of spots, and we're looking to fill them with some guys from Alice Springs. Obviously, we've got Abe Anchors down there. We're travelling down to Alice in a couple of weeks to watch the training, and the Red Tails are playing Woodville West Torrens next week in Adelaide, and Darren Reeves is going down to have a look at that game, and hopefully we can pick up some more talent from the Central Australian region.
And just quickly, AFLW, big game on here later on this afternoon, or in the evening actually, game between the Adelaide Crows and Fremantle. You got a role with the Crows?
No, just overseeing, helping out in that role, but really excited to see our Territory girls play. Danielle Ponter obviously playing on a home deck in her first season. She's played down back the first 2 games she's played, Charlie, and the word is she's going to start forward tonight, which will be cool.
Oh, okay. We've heard it, Dom. We've got it the first time.
Keep it a secret, though. We don't want Fremantle to know.
No, someone will be ringing up already from Fremantle. Reverse charges, phone call to Darwin.
Do they still have those?
I don't know if they do, but anyway, it's second half about to get underway here. 7-2 to 3-5 is Dominic McCormack to bring us the second half.
Seb Gillerhouse has been dominant in the ruck. What can Liam Woodcock-Nolan do in this third quarter? Ball tossed high, Gillerhouse again. Patrick Heenan got a quick touch. Jakura over the ball, got a handball out to Hams. He had a handball out backwards looking for Dyke with some space, needs to pick up, couldn't do so, overran the footy, had another crack at it, still rolling around. Now Southern Districts, clean hands, went to Rusker, he fumbled slightly, the up and under kick to centre half forward, and the mark taken by a strong Dean Staunton, kicks out wide looking for Rory O'Brien. We've gone 27 seconds and Southern Districts have a scoring shot.
It's the tale of the day, isn't it? Sam Dyke just couldn't get hold of that footy and fumble the ball, which then turned into a turnover. And Districts another good opportunity to hit the scoreboard again.
They were fumble free. We said that last week, Tiwi, weren't they? They hardly fumbled at all. And today the pressure is just causing them to fumble.
Finals footy is an amazing thing, isn't it? Just the extra bit of pressure mentally that's probably causing it.
Well, what a start this would be here to the Crocodiles if Rory O'Brien could slot this goal. Deliberate approach, kick on its way. It hangs up high. It's through for a goal, and his teammates know how important that was. They go straight to him. So Southern Districts 8-2-50, leading the Tiwi Bombers 3-5-23.
That's a clever kick.
Very clever, especially with these conditions, Charlie. The wind hasn't changed too much. It's still blowing across the ground, causing havoc at that end of the ground. I think they've all been talking to players about how difficult it is to score at that end. And they've finally got it right. They are hitting the left-hand post, which Charlie made it pretty clear early on. That's what they needed to do. And I think the players have heard you, Charlie, and they're doing exactly that. And it looks like potentially we've got a thunderstorm coming out in the distance there, maybe, Charlie. So all these goals are really important early on this quarter.
Woodcock-Nolan wins the tap, and then they didn't get it clear out of the middle. Now they can go away with it. High kick. It's getting down to a pack of players formed underneath it. All big climb at the back there came from Dion Moncara, went to ground on the run as Ross Tungatullum. He wanted the tap to him. It didn't come to him. He had to work for it. He didn't get it. Oh, ferocious tackling laid on. Fantastically done by Harley Purantata Mary. He nearly got the handball back again. It finished up in the hands of Mummery. He tried to get clear with it. Came out through the hands that time of might have been the Burgess. But now Southern Districts can come away with it. A little kick to the middle was pretty good. The wind blew my paper out of my face there. It's in the hands now of Dean Staunton, and he can take it up inside 50. Hard run at the footy. Rory O'Brien kicked a goal a short time ago. Closing in was Steve Rusker, didn't get it. Gee, they're under enormous pressure here, the Tiwi Bombers. They can win the kick and go down the middle. The kick was okay. Got to his teammate there in Burgess. Burgess goes long down the middle. Good kick, goes out wide though. Knocked away, cleverly done there by Southern Districts. 2-on-1 here. He's under enormous pressure. It's Dion Moncara. He's got a couple to beat. Can he beat him? Yes, he can. He emerges with the footy. He bangs it off the left boot and he spoils it all by turning it straight over, then putting it into the hands there of the man waiting for Michael Bowden.
Oh, well read there by Bowden, and now uses the ball well. Goes to Rusker. What a consistent match he's having. Great through the midfield has Steve Rusker been, and he's kicked 2 goals. Just working it through their defence now. Goes to Liam McGregor. Now cut off by Ross Tungatullum from 49 metres. Low, goes long, bang! That's a goal for the Tiwi Bombers. Oh, the crowd enjoyed that. Tiwi on the board, 4-5-29, trailing Southern Districts 8-2-50, and to say that they needed that is an understatement. And that's the man they need to impose himself on this game if they want to close that gap. You know, we talked about Steve Rusker's been pretty good all day, and then this just turnover here, they just didn't need that. Bowden, Steve Rusker been fantastic. Disappointing. Liam McGregor turnover here, and this is the man. If he imposes himself on this game, Tiwi are halfway there towards closing this gap and winning the game.
Because he's a 6-goal player, isn't he, this man, Ross Tungatullum? He's got a couple. He can do anything. He's capable of it. They close the gap, 8-2 to 4-5. 4 minutes gone, third term. Southern Districts in front. Gilhouse wins the tap in the middle. They can't get clear with it. That man again, Steve Rusker, couldn't get out with it. Hard work in there with Patrick Heenan. Hadn't had much from him today. Spinning out of a tackle, Steve Rusker caught with the footy. He's lost it. Finishes up with the Tiwi Bombers. Kick out wide. They got the runners. They like getting out wide here. Tiwi Bombers, they work pretty hard. Stacked over the top of the footy. Pressure laid on there by Mummery and also by Schwarz. And in the end, they've called it a draw. And the umpire says, I'll ball it up. They worked pretty hard there. There were 3 or 4 of them a chance. Adam Tippenfooty worked his heart out. Here's the throw up directly down in front of us. Good tap down Gillhouse, cleverly done. Heenan comes away with the footy, kicks it down inside 50, gets it over the top. Great kick, and who waits? Ross Tungatulum. Wow.
Didn't he read that beautifully?
Outstanding kick as well. And that difference this quarter has been more Burgess and Hams around the footy. I think they played a bit behind the footy last quarter, or forward of it, sorry. Yep. As soon as they've gone on the ball, they've made an impact straight away.
He's got 2. He can have more goals than any other individual player out on the ground if he can slot this one almost directly in front. 40 metres out, goes back, bangs away at goal. Let's have a look at it. They're saying yes, and they're right. It's a goal. He's got another one. Tungatulum with a couple in a couple of minutes.
And just like that, Charlie, they start to close the gap. Yeah, very important man, Ross Tungatulum, forward of the ball. But yeah, definitely those 2 guys in the middle making a difference. And we've just seen Woodcock go off. Which will make a bit of a change in the ruck. I think Darcy's now going to the ruck, so be interesting to see how they set up with this. Gillhouse in their #1 ruck for districts against Tiwi's 2nd ruck.
Cyril Rioli with a few messages in the middle there as well.
You're going to listen, are you?
You're going to listen. Nathan Jakura there, good man to have in the midfield. Alistair Darcy to go up against Gillhouse. Gillhouse up high, wins it down. Rory O'Brien, good hands, back to Gillhouse. He handballs further forward. Randy Mungatobi there. Well done by Dylan McLaughlin, who charged in, got the kick. Was a high up and under. No one can grab hold of it yet. Trying hard is Gallio. Over the footy, Randy Mungatobi got a little one out. Dunn was slung off the ball without the footy. Now Jakura comes away. Great effort by Gallio. And then the free kick given because no contact was made with the footy. The attempted kick, and Gallio with the free.
I wouldn't argue, I don't think.
No, exactly. That'll be a 50-metre penalty, and with this wind, Charlie, there's every chance that the kick won't even make the distance.
Umpire was spot on there, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the kick to come, close to the man on the mark, high up and under, swirls away, goes right. Valance almost a mark, out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Deep in the right forward pocket for Southern Districts, and they lead at the 7-minute mark of this 3rd quarter, 8-2-50. Tiwi Bombers, 5-5-35.
Tucked deep in the forward pocket here for Southern Districts. 7 minutes gone. 50 plays 35. Tiwi Bombers trying to get out of trouble. No clear kick yet. Southern Districts trying to work their way through. They didn't get clear with it either. And now picked up under real pressure by Valance. He got a kick across that half-back line, parking underneath it. McAdam takes a pretty good mark on his chest in front of Michael Dunn on the edge of the square, gets on the left boot. Kick goes deep, very deep. He wanted Farah down there, punched away from him. Little kick goes backwards. They'll get out of trouble here. Whistle's gone. Hams has got the mark on the last line of defence.
Oh, he was smart, Hams. He was smart.
He drew that.
He was smart.
He went to the Farah, knocked the ball out of his hand and gave away 50 metres.
I actually thought that it was a bump ball, but when the umpire called the mark, Hams just stood there because he knew Farrell was running to him. Yeah. He could get a 50. Very smart play, Hodgie.
Absolutely, and a good switch back to Hams. Why wouldn't you give it back to him? Because he is a smart player and he uses it so well.
Now they'll go across their defensive back line to Roy Farmer. It's been good in defence, reliable. Kick is terrific. Wow, hard run. Harley Purantatameri hit him on the chest, bounced out and went out of play. Wow, he did all the hard work and didn't execute the mark well enough.
Too much bench press during the week, Harley Purantatameri. Boundary throw in. Guinness up against Darcy. Darcy with the second thump. McAdam takes it, tackled. No call on this occasion. The ball goes over the boundary. It was the same call as for Jakura. The crowd are calling for it. The umpire hasn't made the decision. Boundary throw in now, right in front of the Morris Rioli grandstand. Great scenes here.
Dom, you can feel the surge from Tiwi just starting to come right now. So here's the throw in, almost directly down in front of us. They hold front position. Got the knock away. Trying to work his way through there. Adam Tippenwood, he didn't get through, left the ball behind. Big tackle over the top. High tackle, says the umpire. He's awarded the free kick and he's given it off to Hams. Hams goes inside 50. Austin Wanamiri there. Didn't take the mark. Good clean-up work, Michael Bowden. They got to him. They've dropped the ball inside 50. The crowd incensed here. They want some free kick for the Tiwi Bombers. They're not going to get him. You don't get him for nothing. Handball from the middle, goes backwards out here. Gives it to Shane Thorne. What's he doing back there? And he kicks it out wide towards the boundary line. And Dylan McLaughlin runs from there and takes it down towards the half-forward line.
Through half forward now, long kick inside 50. Koopman was the target, couldn't take the mark. Babui gathers, spins out of trouble magnificently. Kick is equally as good, finds William Virgil Purantatameri at half back. Tiwi starting to move up a gear here. Dunn with the handball to Jakura. Now Jakura, kick up towards Austin Wanameri, missed the target. Ball falls inside 50. Bowden couldn't pick up. Dion Munkara putting pressure on. Comes out here towards Thorne. Munkara there again, and he'll be wrapped up just inside 50. And the umpire says, I will have it for the ball up. 10.5 gone in this third quarter. Southern Districts leading 50-35, but the Tiwi Bombers on the move.
Speed of this game has absolutely stepped up a couple of gears, guys. This is outstanding to watch.
Which suits Tiwi. So they're working pretty well. Ross Tungatulum, the danger man down there. That's where it is in his territory. Across the half forward line, kicked out wide there by McGregor. Outside defensive 50 now. They can get out of trouble. Here goes Southern Districts out towards the wing. And the mark taken out there by Schwartz. Where can he go? Can he come back in? No, he can't. He's got a player infield in Innes. He doesn't go to him. He went along the boundary line, right along the boundary line, too far along the boundary line, kicked it out of bounds on the full. So starting to make a few mistakes here. Little chip kick back into Shane Tippermantameri has the mark on the edge of the defensive square.
Tippermantameri goes to centre half back, finds Hams. He is their go-to man. Now Jakura starting to get a little bit more of the footy here in this third quarter. Goes wide. Jason Purantatameri steps around an opponent there in Valance, goes for a run. Always needs a bounce, Jason Purantatameri. It's not right if he doesn't have a bounce. Goes to Adam Tippenwoody, scrubby ball inside 50. Ball spills, goes to Austin Wanameri. Needs to give it back to Dion Munkara. He's just shoved over by Barlow. Goes to ground. Ball comes here to Beau Schwarz. Nice ball to Valance. Minding the mark here is Sam Dyke. Pressure lifting, crowd getting involved here. Ball goes to Shane Thorne. Nice little handball to Barlow. Gets a quick kick away, comes off Heenan. Valance couldn't handle cleanly. Nice tackle laid at half forward. Southern Districts held up.
The crowd are incensed. They've seen 4 free kicks in all of that. Have they got a case?
I love that the umpires are putting the whistle away though, Charlie. They're just letting the players decide this game.
Here's the tap at the 50-metre line. They're in attack here, the Tiwi Bombers. The defence of Southern Districts under enormous pressure. They tried the academy one, it didn't work. Little kick comes out wide towards the boundary line. Holding the player without the ball was the call that time. He wants the free kick, Sam Dyke, and he's getting it. And he's finally got it. And they've been rewarded for their persistence.
They're only going to pay the obvious ones, aren't they?
Short kick comes back.
To the relief of the crowd, Charlie.
Mark in the hands here of Shane Tippermantameri. Thumps it along. That's not a good kick. That's not a good kick at all. He gave it away to Rory O'Brien. Parked under the foot. He took a strong mark at centre half back.
Gee, bad turnover there from a very experienced player. Ball out here to Martin. Martin, the long kick to the hard run of Staunton. Staunton finds himself at right half forward. His kick looking for Will Farah. Made space beautifully. The elegant leap from Farah takes the mark. Now looking for the spearing pass to Rusker, and that was just too easy from the turnover. Way too easy. Tiwi Bombers players standing there like witches' hats in defensive 50, and Steve Rusker the opportunity to kick his third.
Yeah, the outstanding Districts then just got on their bike and everyone pushed hard, forward really hard. And obviously Steve's got on the end of it, some really good work. And Tiwi, obviously a little bit frustrated with some free kicks not paid, just stopped working there for that split second, and then District's going to make them pay.
Russ Tungatulum's got 3. He's got more than anyone else.
Steve Rusker, right of centre, kick on its way, low trajectory drop punt. He is not going to add to his haul thus far. Southern Districts 8-3, 51. Tiwi Bombers 5-5, 35, 14 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Steve Rusker with 2. There's a chance to get 3 as well. So they've caught their breath here now, Tiwi Bombers. They're going to come away with us. A massive kick comes out by Roy Farmer right to that far side of the ground, almost up towards the wing. Tiwi Bombers can win it, wheel around. The kick is good to Adam Tippenwoody. He's on the run. 1 bounce, 2 bounces. He can take another one. Has a look over his shoulder. He's gone a mile. He's gone a long way. He's kicking, speared the ball in and gave it off, and a great mark taken down there. Who's got that mark down there? Is that
It's Aussie Wanameri.
Aussie Wanameri got him on the chest, and what a chest to aim at. What a pass it was.
What a pass after a 35-metre run from Adam Tipungwuti.
I was about to say that was an outstanding chase from Rory O'Brien, but Adam Tipungwuti, probably the smallest arms on the field, has just pushed him off like he's nothing. It was an outstanding piece of play, but it looked like a set play, that kick in. They got out the back and beautiful execution.
The former Demon, who kicked 4 last week, is going to have a shot. Aussie Wanameri. He goes for goal. Does he get it? Of course he does. Aussie Wanameri gets another one. He's got 2 today. He's just starting to show his real class. That was a very good goal and a very good build-up.
An amazing leader. It was a set play. That big long torpedo from Roy Farmer out the back. And then Adam Tipungwuti, he was actually starting it at half-back, and he just took off out to the wing. He knew what was going to happen and got on the end of it really well.
Looks like we actually got one of the field umpires coming from the ground here. He's been escorted from the ground, so let's hope that he's okay.
It is a hot day out there, guys.
It is a very hot day. Yep, he looks as though he's suffering. So the toll of this match being told in different ways. 51 plays 41, 10 points is the margin. Gilhouse wins it down again beautifully. Staunton couldn't pick up under pressure from Tipungwuti. Gilhouse is in again. Tipungwuti gets a tap out to Burgess. Burgess, can he pick up? He can. He was tackled, lost the footy, loses it to Rusker. Steve Rusker bombs away inside 50. Dyke's there, so too O'Brien. Trying to pick up the footy, Randy Mungatobi. Without the footy, he's acted for it and got it beautifully. Free kick there to Randy Mungatobi inside his defensive 50.
So Randy Mungatobi takes a run across half-back, takes a bounce, can take another. They just about got to him. The last second he got the kick away. It was a poor one. He got it out towards Hams. Hams goes back to Michael Dunn across defensive 50, takes the mark, Michael Dunn, and then goes with the short kick to the corridor, drops it a little short. 3-on-1 here. One Tiwi player to beat 3. He couldn't get to it. Ball comes out to Burgess. Burgess got the handball away to Dunn. Finishes up even further across there to William Kurantara-Mary. No, it's Burgess going to get the free kick. So Christian Burgess had an outstanding game last week, pops it out wide, finds a teammate out there sitting on the edge of the square.
Silvani Babui now looking for the run of Harley Kurantara-Mary, miles in front of his immediate opponent in Beau Schwartz, gathers the footy, constantly going for the step is Harley Kurantara-Mary. It has not worked for him on any occasion this afternoon. Now he's surrounded by crocodiles, and the crocodiles come away with the footy. Good play. They ran in numbers. They worked beautifully. Ball to Ed Barlow, kicks up towards Thorne. Over his head, Dyke in pursuit to put on the pressure, and the ball out over the boundary line for a throw-in deep in the right forward pocket. Really
disappointing from Harley Kurantara-Mary there. He had plenty of crocs around him, but if you look forward to the footy, he actually had a spare man forward. If he just got the ball inside 50, they had him outnumbered. He just, poor decision. I was just about to say the decision-making's been better this quarter, but it comes unstuck that quickly.
That was a poor one, yeah. There were 3 Southern Districts players around him when he attempted that suicide effort. Didn't quite work for him. Gilhouse gets the tap down, did it really well. High tackle here. It's going to be a free kick to Southern Districts. If you run hard at the footy like that, you're likely to get the free kick, and that's just what Matt Rosier has done. He's been a good player over a long time, hasn't he, this man?
Yeah, outstanding player. Obviously started in Alice Springs, and he's now living in Darwin playing for the Crocs. You know, very experienced player, and you'd think he'd be a good chance to finish this.
Hasn't had a lot of it today. Get used to calling him a lot in a footy match. He's having a good look at him. He's outside 50. Big kick for him. 51 plays 41. 10 points his team leads by. Can he make it 16? He's a lefty. He's a left foot kick. He goes with it and he drifts it across the face. He allowed too much. Kicked it to the far side. Come up with a point. Margin 11 points now. 52 plays 41. 18 minutes gone third term.
Dion Munkara now to bring the footy back in. Normally a good user, plays onto himself. Dyke offers a shepherd. Dion Munkara on the move. Handballs now to Jakura, close to the boundary line. Dangerous footy. Jakura just gets a kick away, but a free kick. A free kick, I think, back there now for a high tackle.
Jakura, yep.
That looked a bit untidy.
I don't think Dion had actually mentioned to Jakura what he was about to do then. I think it was a total surprise to him.
So Jakura from the back pocket drills the ball in low to Babui. Babui goes again to Munkara. Munkara short, Tungatala on the move again now. Mankara, the 1-2 and the bounce and 2 up centre wing. Too quick, 3 bounces. Good movement here. Where's the target? There's the target. Puruntatameri didn't take it off hands. Comes here from Darcy. The kick from Cooper to the goal square. And a mark. The mark to Mankara. He plays on and he kicks the goal. Simon Mankara kicks his first for the afternoon. He looked dangerous all through the first half, but more importantly, the Tiwi Bombers 7-5-47 within 5 points of Southern Districts. 8-4-52.
They've really upped the tempo, haven't they, guys? The viewers at home probably can't see this, but in those situations where the ball's deep in the Tiwi backline, all their forwards will press up to the middle of the ground. Tiwi then find their way through it very smartly, and then when they get the ball through centre, they just take off, and everyone got forward of the ball there. So that's definitely a ploy Brenton Toy's put in place this quarter, and it's paying dividends for him.
And that storm starting to come in from
I'm glad. I put my neck on the line with that one. I'm glad it's coming.
I just got to tell you too that umpire's number 22, Patrick Rawthorne, 17-year-old in his first final. He is okay because he's back out there now, so excellent. That's some good news. Here's the kick down towards Tiwi Bombers, down towards their half-forward line, picked up here by Edward Darcy. Darcy goes for the spearing kick in, tried to give it off to Christian Burgess, couldn't get it. He got caught in a tackle. They're having a look at it. Umpire said it's out of play and they'll have to throw it back in. No, he's called a free kick, has he? No, out of play, and they'll throw it in. So Tiwi Bombers where they want it at the 21-minute mark. They'd love to get a goal here. 7-5 to 8-4. They can put their noses in front if they can get one. Grabbed and running hard there. Not able to get through though was Patrick Heenan. Free kicks paid. Southern Districts are going to get it, much to the dismay of this big crowd in front of us, who just absolutely adore the Tiwi Bombers.
Well, Southern Districts taking the free kick. Looking to move the ball cleanly and calmly here. Valance gets it away to Zach Smith. Inside 50. The press is on here from the Tiwi Bombers. Poor kick. Missed McAdam. Missed Brandon Rusker. Harley Puruntatameri couldn't handle cleanly. Darcy's in there now, Palapurmini. They just need to get it cleanly inside 50. Does everything, Palapurmini. That was brilliant. Who's going to run hard at this? Burgess gathers on the outside of the right boot. Pops it in the corridor. Ball missed. Tungatala gathers. Banana kick on goal. Watermerry takes the mark, and from the goal square kicks for Tiwi Bombers. They are in front.
It's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters, isn't it, guys? It's Burgess, the switch kick inside, probably tried something a bit flashy that maybe Brenton Toy needs to tell him, you just leave that up to the Tiwi lads and you just kick the ball to the top of the square. But it paid off for him, and obviously those Austin Wanameri, Simon Mankara have been fantastic for the footy and been the difference. And at the moment, it looks like Ashton Hams is out on his feet. He's playing as a +1 behind the footy, which is a really good ploy late in this third quarter.
So Ross Tungatala and Austin Wanameri have kicked 2 goals each in this quarter. They've got 4 goals between them in this quarter. Fantastic effort from them. They're turning it on here. Here's Takura. They need him to lift as well. Gets onto the right boot. Kick is terrific down to the edge of the square. Runners everywhere. Out wide they can look. Going forward down there, Michael Cooper doesn't go to him. Mankara takes the mark directly out in front. Simon Mankara, he can stretch the lead here. What a quarter. If you only watch one replay this year, watch this one.
Ross Tungatala standing next to him there looking for the little cheeky handball to get an easy goal, but either one of those 2 boys will hopefully finish this.
Well, Siren is imminent, so it's just on 23 minutes. He should have a shot. Simon Mankara's kicked 1 already in this unbelievable third quarter from them. He goes back, he kicks, he's not quite going to have the legs nor the accuracy, and he misses it out to the left. It was not a good kick, result of minor score. And they lead now by a couple of points. 8-6 to 8-4, almost 3-quarter time.
Alistair Darcy also been important in this quarter. Delivered that ball forward. Josiah Farah now with ball in hand. In the goal square, thumps it long, straight down the line. Target down there is Dylan McLaughlin, couldn't take the mark, falls to Beau Schwarz, and the 3-quarter time siren sounds.
And the score here at 3-quarter time, what a comeback from the Tiwi Bombers. They kicked 5 goals to 1 in that quarter, and they put their noses in front. Tiwi Bombers at 3-quarter time, 8-6, leading Southern Districts 8-4. And now let's get some comments from Andrew Hodges. Andrew, what a quarter of football from the Bombers.
Well, I'd almost pay double the gate admission just to come in and watch the Tiwi Bombers play footy. It's so good. Finals footy, they really turned it on. We talked about in that first half, just the normal characteristics of a Tiwi footballer. We just didn't see it. They were fumbling, they were making skill errors, poor decisions, and all of a sudden, flick of the switch like that, bang, they're back in the game and they're in front. So, they actually played Districts, what Districts did in the first half. They turned the table, put the pressure back on Districts, made Districts turn the ball over, and Tiwi just set up really well. And some really good coaching from Brenton Toy. There were some very, very obvious changes to structurally in that quarter that made a massive difference. And one of them was when the ball was in their back line, they actually had all their forwards press up the ground. They found their way through traffic, made some really good decisions, and then just backed it out the space. We saw Adam Tipperwoody get out the back on one of those occasions, and it just paid dividends for them, and they're an outstanding quarter of footy.
And all of a sudden they had outriders just about everywhere, didn't they? They're running around the perimeter, getting out very, very wide and able to get that ball out to them. Can I just remind people who are listening to us or are watching us that last week Southern Districts kicked 1 goal in the second half. Nightcliff thrashed them, kicked 12 goals to none. They've kicked 1 goal here in this third quarter after looking comfortable at half time. They've lost the lead. They'll be starting to have second thoughts about their ability, wouldn't they?
You'd think so. I just saw Coach Shannon Rusker storm out to the huddle just then. I think he's going to have some firm words with him. And assistant coach Matt Cannard doing the same as well. So I think they can regroup pretty quickly. They're a very, very talented football side, and they can turn it around really quickly with some really good coaching. And their leaders need to stand up. They just probably haven't enough from their leaders in that quarter. Ed Barlow sort of dropped off. Gallio was in and out of the game a little bit. If those guys impose themselves back on the game, they'll put themselves in a good position to win it.
A lot of people out there around these huddles. 3 distinct huddles in each group. They've got the mids and the defenders and the forwards. They form those little groups. They get together and talk. Brenton Toy, you can see him there talking. I think that's his mum next to him.
That's his mum and his dad. So he's just having to chat to his parents while everyone else does the work around him. Fantastic.
He's the most relaxed guy you'd ever meet in the world, Brenton Toy, isn't he?
He's a very good coach. At Shannon Rusker, he does get excited sometimes, but he's been good. They got the premiership last year. Let's remember that.
That's right.
They looked like they were going to be minor premiers this year. Then their form fell away just a little bit. They are a very good side, and they coach very well. We're in for a terrific last quarter here. Yeah,
it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see it. That storm's coming in. Whether that's going to play an impact on this game or not, I think the wet weather footy, Tiwi actually are pretty good in the wet. So
they are. I thought it was really important that Tiwi were at least in the game, if not in front, at three-quarter time, because they were kicking then to the Michael Long centre end in the last quarter, and that's been the most difficult end to kick to. So regardless of rain, wind, whatever, they needed to be thereabouts, and fortunately for them, 2 points in front, bit of momentum. I just thought they worked harder in that quarter than what they had in the first half.
They worked in packs, didn't they? They
did.
3 and 4 players all together.
They actually supported each other really well in that quarter, which we didn't see so much in the first half.
And the injection of Burgess and Hams into that midfield at the start of that quarter was the difference as well. It really got them going.
Yeah, strong bodies.
Jakura was another one who got really good possessions out of the middle.
And Austin Wanamiri, how was he down there? Took some miraculous marks, like making body contact with his opponent and still able to use his strength to take the mark. They were fantastic marks he took.
Doing well, doing well.
Well, the crowd starts to walk away from the huddles, from their groups, the teams that they support. They know what's on the line here.
Interesting, Charlie, that they kicked some of those late goals, the Tiwi Bombers. I think Liam Woodcock-Nolan was off the ground. Yep. Alistair Darcy was the second ruckman. And he was not only rucking, but he was gathering possession forward of centre and delivering the ball forward, but then also being a target inside the forward 50, just because of that chaotic play that they have. So he's an unusual fellow because he's so tall, but also very mobile.
Yeah, almost an extra midfielder, Dominic, wasn't he?
Exactly, and that's how he played, and then worked hard to get inside forward 50.
Don't want to put you under pressure. Don't want to put you on the spot. What do you think? What's going to happen?
Be interesting to have a draw, wouldn't it? Charlie, and see how that pans out. No, I think the way that things are going at the moment, just looking at the body language of the two sides, Tiwi, they're in position already. Southern Districts are still with their coach, Shannon Rusker, so be interesting to see their body language as they walk away from this huddle. Tiwi definitely up and about at the start of this quarter. I think they might run away with it, with that momentum that they've got, but Districts could easily turn that around. And
Charlie, interestingly, because of the Andrew Hodges storm, the wind is now changing direction.
Oh, it is too. So Tiwi might have the use of the wind here. It might, because it'll come in front of that storm. But I can tell you, if you look out there to that storm, there's blue sky in between two storm cells. One's going off to the east, one's going off here to the south. So it often does that. It comes in that way and then it splits. So we might not get the rain. It might miss us completely.
The parting of the storm at TIO Stadium, Charlie. We're not going to get it. We're not going to get one drop.
We might get one drop. It looks overcast and almost as though it's dusk here. The lights are on. We're in for some footy, a treat. One more quarter of it. And here's Dominic McCormack.
The big men, Liam Woodcock-Nolan and Seb Gillhouse, at it again. Gillhouse, as he has done all afternoon, wins it down beautifully. Ed Barlow was on the end of it almost, just couldn't quite grab hold of it. Tiwi repel, a kick up through centre half forward. Ross Tungatalam gathers magnificently, handballs. Bowden cut it off really well, got it onto his left boot, looking out there for a teammate in McLaughlin. Takes the mark. Well done, Michael Bowden. Now McLaughlin to settle. Kicks it out wide, looking out there for Dean Staunton, and that wind already having an effect. Took that footy away from Dean Staunton and took it out of bounds under the scoreboard. So a boundary throw-in to take place just in between centre wing and half forward for Southern Districts.
Ross Tungatalam really need to play the percentage there and just get that ball forward. The party tricks, maybe leave that till a bit later.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Woodcock-Nolan up against Gillhouse. These two giants have been going at it all day today. He got front position as he does all day, Gillhouse, and got the two-handed tap down. Little kick came out of the pack, punched away by the defence down there for the Tiwi Bombers. They've got plenty of runners at the footy. They can't get it. Didn't spill out towards Sam Dyke, who was waiting for it. Handball was given out by Burgess. Now they can get clear. Kicks into the man running at him. Ball goes on the ground. Gave Districts a bit of a chance here. Spearing kick along the boundary line. Finds the hard lead there of Will Farrow and rewards it with a good kick. Took the mark out in front of Jason Purantata-Merry. He's within kicking distance, but he's hard up against the boundary line.
I thought Burgess was a bit too hams conscious there, handballing backwards.
He actually had nothing down the ground. It probably wasn't the greatest. He probably had to look down the ground before he passed it.
Farrow's going to go short. He does, and he finds his teammate in Staunton. Loose checking again. They're going to pay for this, the Tiwi Bombers. You must pick up players. You've got to be within arm's reach, don't you, all the time?
And this man, he works all game. You cannot take your eye off him because he will make position.
Well, he's increased the angle or improved the angle. The distance is halved almost. And so he's going to have a shot from about, I don't know, 25 metres. He's not that far out from the boundary line. He kicks that goal. He kicks well. He kicks magnificently. Staunton gets the goal they wanted. Great goal.
We talked about at the start of this quarter that the leaders needed to stand up, and obviously Will Farrow and Dean Staunton involved in that play. So important for them. And Dean, you're right, Dominic, Dean Staunton works so hard. He probably would have done a couple of Ks just to lead up into this. I know they don't hit the GPS here at NTFL level, but at Neafield level we do GPS. I can't wait to put one on Dean Staunton, and I'm expecting he'll probably blow it up at some stage throughout the year.
Thunder, we can hear it rolling. That storm is circling us. It's quite amazing what we're seeing here. Dom.
So Southern Districts now in the lead, 4 points. 58 plays, 54. Liam Woodcock-Nolan wins the ruck contest on this occasion, running onto it, McLaughlin. Quick kick out, straight towards the boundary, goes over. How will the umpire see this? A boundary throw in. Oh, some of the crowd were calling for it.
I think that was me.
I was being kind. You didn't have to dob yourself in. So a boundary throw in right in front of our commentary position here in the Morris Rioli grandstand. The big men, Seb Gillhouse, tried to throw Woodcock-Nolan out of the way. Woodcock-Nolan won it down to Gillhouse. He gets a handball to McAdam. McAdam to Barlow. Barlow up towards attacking 50. Good mark. Rory O'Brien put himself in front. Takes that mark magnificently. Delivers again to Staunton, who either will take a mark or a free kick. And Shane Tippermunder-Merry in some ways is lucky not to give away a 50-metre penalty there.
Well, really, he was going to drop that mark. It bounced out and then he hit him front on. Gave away the free kick. That's what the umpire awarded, didn't he?
He did, yeah. A little bit sloppy there, but work rate from Dean Staunton from this stoppage, outstanding.
So Dean Staunton, 2 metres in from the boundary. Right of centre, kicks on goal. Ugly looking kick off the boot. It is going to fall short. Almost a mark, no mark. Gallio threw his boot at it, couldn't take the mark, pulls the footy in. Tiwi outriders, can they get to the footy? Michael Mummery runs hard at it, so too Adam Tipperwoody. Mummery will steal it away, got a handball away to Dunn. Dunn now with the long kick down the line. looking for the boundary, looking for a teammate. Clean bowls Cooper. Gillhouse gathers. Handballs away to a teammate in Schwarz. No one can pick it up cleanly. Dion Munkara thrown away in the tackle. In fact, it was Simon Munkara. Now Tonga comes away with it. Ugly kick inside 50. Wanameri, what can he do here? Pushes away his opponent. Works his way off his opponent magnificently. And you can tell from the crowd reaction, a goal to Austin Wanameri against Zach Smith. Greater poise, greater body strength and experience. Wanameri kicks his fourth.
He just read the bounce of the ball there so much better than what Zach Smith, didn't he? He just made sure he knew the side the ball was going to be at. Great, you can see here just his body work. He just protected the ball where it was going. Zach Smith with a bit of speed overran it, and Austin Wanameri little shake and bake, and bang, kicks the goal.
That was an amazing goal. Absolutely amazing.
He's kicked some great goals in the last couple of weeks, Charlie. We've been witness to them. That's one of them.
4 goals from him like he did last week against St Mary's. He's saying, I can do it against the bottom side, I'll do it against the second best team in the comp. Gillhouse gets the smack on the footy, knocks it out of the middle. Out they come looking for it. Shane Thorne gets the footy. Handball over the top here for the Tiwi Bombers to the middle of the ground. Hard at the footy, Adam Tippenwoody didn't get clear with it. Pack gets over the top. Umpire comes in and has a look and will ball it up. Pressure on Harley. Purantatameri in there as well. Also see Alistair Darcy in there. He'll do some of the ruck against Gillhouse, I reckon. They were touching each other. Gillhouse, as you expect, gets the pack hit away from that boundary throw, that ball up. Gets down towards the 50-metre line. Here's the chase here by Shane Thorne along the boundary line. Steps back in, goes short with the kick. Measures it nicely, finds Gillhouse. He's out on the wing, just forward of in front of the scoreboard. 2 points the difference. Tiwi Bombers with their noses in front. Big Seb Gillhouse played at the Tigers a couple of years ago. Now at Southern Districts, kicks it inside 50. Big climb Farah. Didn't get to it, gets over the back. Tiwi Bombers on the clean up here. They can run out of defence. Roy Farmer, couple of bounces onto the left boot he goes. Oh, it's a good kick. It's a beauty. Finds his teammate upfield there, can run forward. Is Hams. Hams with a good kick. The outriders are there. There are plenty of them. They can step back in field. Mungatopi off the left boot. Wants Ross Tungatulum. Got away from him. Ball goes back towards the boundary line.
On the full.
Adam Tippenwoody got to it, and it's spilled away and out of play.
Out of bounds on the full, Charlie.
And it's a free kick to the Tiwi Bombers. You wouldn't believe it. Who's going to get it? Have a guess.
The right man, it's definitely within his capabilities from this angle.
Ross Tungatulum. He's going to kick from just inside 50. He's right out on the boundary line. Storm clouds gathering. Gets to the boundary and kicks well and kicks magnificently. Oh my goodness, what a kick, what a goal. He's got 4. He joins Austin Wanameri. They are playing footy the likes we've never seen for a few seasons.
They just played some bold footy there across the last line of defence. Roy Farmer just used back his leg speed, got the ball out to Hams, Cooper, and they just smart kicks. Ross Tungatulum actually overran the ball, but he actually knew where it was going to go. And bad luck there to Brandon Rusker, obviously come off his boot accidentally, but Ross Tungatulum turned absolutely nothing into something. And
Adam Tippenwoody was the one who flicked it back onto his opponent out of bounds on the full. How is it that Ross Tungatulum ended up with the ball? Hey, how did that happen?
Who could ever say?
Smart play.
A couple of miracle goals. The Austin Wanameri goal,
yep.
You know, that was extraordinary in that same corner, and then that one.
Gillhouse now from the ruck contest, wins it down. Charlie McAdam hard at it. Ball comes out here through Dion Munkara. Little left foot chip inside, attacking 50. District's defence under pressure here. Chain of handballs. Well done, McGregor. Then off the side of the boot. Hard at it here is McAdam. In pursuit, Burgess grabs hold of him. Didn't get that away cleanly. O'Brien under pressure did magnificently well. Got a handball away to Gallio. Palapur Mini there. So too Liam Woodcock-Nolan. Loses the footy to McGregor. Gallio soccers it off the ground. Koopman held up here by Babui. Coming hard at the ball there was Matt Rosier. Tackled to ground. Somehow the ball comes to Koopman. Gets a kick away. Dunn waits underneath it. Calmly takes the footy and then runs away. Takes a bounce in front of Rusker. They're bold now, the Tiwi Bombers. Long kick to Patrick Heenan. Takes the mark in the middle of the ground. Calls to play on. Pops it up and he's got Harley Purantatameri all by himself. 40 from goal.
That is some footy, isn't it?
Don't try and step your opponent, Harley. Just go back and have a shot.
Absolutely. Harley was on centre wing there when that ball broke across half back. He just gut ran forward, got himself in a position to receive then. Great work, Tiwi Bombers. And like you said, they're just backing themselves to play bold footy, aren't they? And it's paying off for them.
So Harley Purantatameri, he's done some good things this afternoon. He's done some things that he's probably regretted. But he has an opportunity here to really put some meaningful score on the board. Kick is away. It's through. It's a goal.
They can do no wrong. Harley Purantatameri kicks the goal. It was a beauty.
There's been some hero efforts, haven't there, for the Tiwi Bombers? You know, Burgess, Hams, especially Jakura in the middle this quarter again. Dominic, he's really imposed himself around the ball in the hard contest, and Paddy Heenan does as well. So it's been really interesting in there. Yep. Those guys getting on top.
Just give that score here, Dom. 11-6 to 9, 10 minutes gone, final term. Tiwi Bombers out in front.
14 points the margin. Trying to crash his way through here. Gallio does really well. Gets a handball away. Here they come. Schwarz. In fact, Brandon Rusker through centre wing. Babui just socketed off the ground towards the boundary, but Palapur-Mini will run onto it. Alistair Darcy makes space for him, but Palapur-Mini delivers that beautifully to Dion Munkara. He's got Cooper running into the clear. Don't worry about Cooper. What about Tungatalam? Oh. Led beautifully, and there's been a player put down behind play, Dion Munkara, but the umpires are having nothing of it. He pats Gallio on the head. He needs to be careful doing that. Don't give away a silly free kick now. I've seen that turned over before, Charlie King.
My word.
So Ross Tungatalam, left of centre. He'll kick from inside 50. Crosses 50 just. Kick on its way. That is magnificent. Well, the Tiwi Bombers, this second half, they have been outstanding. The Tiwi Bombers move on to 13-6, 84, leading Southern Districts 9-4, 58. They have kicked so far 5 goals to 1 in this. That can't be right. 5 goals to 1 in this second half.
Yes.
5 goals to 1 in the second half.
They've been outstanding, guys. That vision from Palapur-Mini here to bring the ball back inside to Dion Munkara, then to Tungatalam to finish it, outstanding.
So from the middle, and the big man went in for the Tiwi Bombers. Woodcock Nolan and got the tap out. Caught with a footy, McAdam. He's going to be pinged. He is. He had nowhere to go. They're like spiders on a web. They're on you before you know it. Here's Jakura's kick inside 50 was really good. Parked under the footy. Good kick forward. Underneath it, Tiwi Bombers a chance to take a mark there. Didn't quite take it. Ross Tungatalam amongst all of those players down there.
He's ducked into that.
Simon Munkara. Umpire has a look. Rewards nothing. He's going to go in and ball it up. Some hard work being done down there. Sean Martin in defence, working very hard for Southern Districts. Umpire balls it up. Tiwi Bombers deep in attack here. Can they get it out of the middle? They can't. And again it gets held up, and umpire will come in and ball it up again. There's a free kick waiting to be played here. You just get the feeling. Which way will it go? Everyone desperate for the footy. 78 plays 58, 20 points. The Tiwi Bombers in front. 13 minutes gone last term. And now long to around the boundary line. Jakura, little kick around the body, right to the goal line. Cut off there. Good mark taken. Bowden chips it out wide. Gives it off to Gallio. Deep in the back pocket. He looks upfield. He's got nothing on offer. He's going to have to kick and hope. And that's what he's going to do. It's a thumping kick. Goes out just short of the wing. Big climb at the back there. Didn't take the mark though, Koopman. Ball goes to ground. Plenty of Tiwi Bombers getting around it. Desperate for the footy down there. Koopman couldn't get it. No one could get it. Umpire's going to come in and ball it up. Tackling late on there by Roy Farmer. Working his heart out is Roy Farmer.
Well done, Roy Farmer. He's featured heavily this afternoon. The umpire tossing that up. Woodcock Nolan got it down. Valance almost took it away. Barlow did. Off to the hard run of Staunton. Staunton up into forward 50. Purantatameri couldn't grab it. Farah had 2 cracks at it. Now Heenan. In fact, Dunn picks up and goes to Jason Purantatameri, out wide to Rory O'Brien. Under pressure here from Cooper. He handballs towards the boundary, and the umpire says we'll toss it in on centre wing. Almost 14 minutes gone here in the last quarter. The Tiwi Bombers 12-6-78, leading Southern Districts 9-4-58. Can you believe it? At 20 points the margin.
Dominic, the Tiwi defenders have been outstanding today at supporting each other. They don't leave each other isolated. They've always got back up there when they're in a bit of trouble.
From that boundary throw in now, Tipperary was in the ruck contest, goes to ground, ball taken away by McAdam. McAdam at centre wing, handball to O'Brien off to the run of Barlow. Handball inboard was poor. Michael Dunn underneath it. Valance went back and gathered, did beautifully. Got a handball away only as far as Dyke. Dyke to William Virgil Purantatameri. Scoots around Shane Thorne. Kicks out wide, looking for Tipungwuti, but it's out of bounds on the full. And there will be a turnover at left half forward. The free kick to go out there, I think, to Michael Mummery.
So that's got 9 goals to 3 since half-time, Tiwi Bombers. 9 goals to 3. So here's the kick. Mummery is out very wide along the boundary line over by the scoreboard and kicks it inside 50. Pack flies. Good, big, strong mark there taken by Clinton Gallio.
His work rate's increased in the last couple of minutes, guys. He's been at every contest working really hard. So trying to get his team up and about for this last couple of minutes.
Big pack mark that was. There were probably 6 or 7 sets of hands looking for that footy. Only one come down with it, was this man here. Clinton Gallio leans back, kicks long at goals, and he's kicked the goal. When Southern Districts wanted it, up stepped Clinton Gallio and kicked a great goal for them.
Still plenty of time in this game. Obviously, yeah, Districts, if they can get a bit more of that inside 50, they're going to close that gap pretty quickly, and it's not a massive margin. They can turn it around really, really quickly.
Liam Woodcock-Nolan's just come from the ground, clutching at a right hamstring, now doing some stretches at the fence line. So interesting to see whether he's able to come back on the ground.
Well, it's even because Gallio's off doing some squats anyway, isn't he?
So here we are back in the middle.
Gilhouse, rather.
Gilhouse, he is too. But he's prowling like a praying mantis on the sideline, uninjured. Ed Barlow drives it deep inside 50. Gallio had hands to it. Purantatameri takes it at the back. Little chip, lovely play. Goes to Silvani Babui. Babui looking for Hams. Hams receives a shepherd from Darcy. Lovely touch on the footy from Hams. Finds Michael Cooper. Takes the mark on centre wing. Movement everywhere. Michael Dunn streaming through midfield. He won't be able to get that far, I don't think. Now the nice touch on the footy. The lead from Ross Tungatala. He'll wheel and go quickly. His kick up towards Dion Munkara. The gather on the bounce was unbelievable. Now Dion Munkara, the pass to Simon Munkara. Can't take the mark. Wanameri gathers, kicks on goal and kicks a behind. Beautiful build-up, Andrew Hodges.
Anti-climax, though.
Oh,
it would have been good to finish with
yes.
the goal, but Champagne footy, they are like the Harlem Globetrotters of the footy, aren't
Incredible.
they?
So Ruska, that's Brandon Ruska offers the lead into the back pocket. That's going to be ignored. The kick is going to be long, and it's not going to be a good one. Mark taken out on the far side of the ground. Tiwi Bombers have it. Dion Munkara brings it back in. Michael Dunn onto the right boot. Chips it inside 50. Nice kick, nice pass. Well,
options lining up, weren't there?
Too many of them, wasn't there? And that mark taken there by Shane Tipperary. He's very capable. Gee, had a few seasons ago, he was the toast of the town. He was just an amazing footballer. Fell away a bit, but he's come back in pretty good form over the last couple of years. Here he is from outside 50. He can make it really difficult for Southern Districts. He's a lefty. The kick's a horror. It's going to drop short. It wobbled off his boot towards the forward pocket. Big tackle laid on there. Pushing the back, says the umpire.
Oh.
It's going to be a free kick.
Fortunate.
That was hard running there. Came from Austin Wanamiri. And Southern Districts can get out of trouble. They have a free kick in the back pocket.
Need to use the footy well here. Kick is long, out towards the boundary. No mark taken. Sean Martin it was. Ball kicked inboard, but in fact it was already out of bounds, so it will go back about 60 from goal for the boundary throw. And Gilhouse, desperate to get back on the field, runs on now. He won't make this ruck contest, however. The ruckmen set themselves. Valance for Southern Districts. Wins it down to Barlow. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The ball tapped forward in favour of Tiwi. Staunton got hold of it, and it was deemed as a throw. So turnover comes here. Jakura was the one laying the tackle. Takes the footy. Movement in forward 50. Mankara moves, so too Wanameri. Jakura just steadying here, looking for the right option, and he goes short, finds Adam Tipungwuti.
You know, Tiwi's playing well when players run from behind the ball carrier to get into position.
Tipungwuti goes short. Tion Mankara was the target. Ball knocked away from him. Good defensive play from Southern Districts. Sean Martin in particular got the handball out there towards Dean Staunton. Couldn't handle close to the boundary. And again, another boundary throw in. 50 metres around from the Tiwi goal.
They've just lost their way a bit at the moment, Districts. They're very flat-footed. I don't know. I can't see where they're going to generate some excitement from in this last couple of minutes to try and close the gap.
So 15 points the margin here. This is going to be a victory for the ages if they can pull it off here. The Tiwi Bombers have played fantastic since half-time. Here's Jakura getting to the footy. Goes down on his knees, slides away and got the handball out wide. Searching for his teammate out there to get to it in Alistair Darcy. Didn't get it. Boundary line wins. This is playing perfectly for the Tiwi Bombers. They're happy if it's going to keep going out of play. We tick up now. 20 minutes gone final term. Couple of minutes left, maybe 2 or 3. Seb Gilhouse is going to do the ruck work here. He's up against Jakura. They win it though, and the kick wasn't good enough. Handball comes back here for the Southern Districts to win it out on that far side of the ground. Little handball over the top to the very busy Ed Barlow. Had a terrific first half. He might get it back here. He's going to. Barlow calls for it. It comes to him. He picks it up. Handball was pretty good. Gave it off to Valance. Valance with the kick inside 50 was good. Ball knocked to ground here. Runners everywhere for Southern District. They're looking okay. They give it off to Rusker. Rusker goes for goal and misses. Stevie Rusker. Chance to kick the goal, comes up with a minor score at the almost 21-minute mark. 12-7 to 10-5. Tiwi in front.
Jason Purantatameri with ball in hand. Kicks long. Target looked like was Michael Mummery. It was in fact Michael Dunn. He couldn't handle. Districts with an opportunity if they can just get hold of some clean footy. Palapurmini's given it up. Good tackle. Free kick. And Tiwi Bombers will take the footy. Crowd were calling for dropping the ball, and that's what's happened. Michael Dunn now with the footy goes to William Virgil. Purantatameri just has a bounce. Roy Farmer, the outrider, running out well and truly out wide. Ball bounces, stops and props, gathers, goes back to William Virgil. Purantatameri needs to get rid of the footy. He does. Into space. Ross Tungatulum waited for the bounce. Untidy on this occasion. Little chip. Out of bounds on the full. Will Farrer suddenly finds himself in defence playing on Ross Tungatulum. So Tungatulum now. No man on the mark. Just drives the ball in towards Dion Mankara. Off hands. Tungatulum straight in hard. Bowden missed the ball also. Burgess went to lay the tackle, but his opponent went in hard and low. And is it a free kick? No, it's not. The umpire says we'll wrap it up there. He's going to toss it high. Gilhouse taps it down. Districts all over this. Tiwi not there in numbers at all here. Rory O'Brien gathers, goes to Valance, comes to the back of the pack. William Virgil, Purantatameri, beautiful, goes to Patrick Heenan. Lining up here at half forward. Here's where they've got the numbers and space. Babui gathers, steps around an opponent, runs to 45, kicks on goal. The Shepherd's on. And they've kicked it behind. I hate to tell you, those Tiwi Bomber supporters, but it is a behind. 12-9-81 they lead. Southern Districts 10-5-65.
So Districts now desperate to get something here. I think the clock's going to beat them. The short kick's going to go into the back pocket and gives it down there to Will Farrer. As you said, playing in defence. He's going to go short with the kick. Still got it inside defensive 50. What's on offer? There's a player a long way upfield they can go to in Koopman. That's not where they go. They went short instead. Gilhouse got there and picked up and got the handball away. Kick goes to the edge of the square and they'll settle it down, the Tiwi Bombers. Mark taken there by Ashton Hams. Goes across, gave it to Michael Dunn. Dunn goes, went to go inside 50 to a teammate, turned it over, and the mark was taken in there by Dean Staunton. Inside defensive 50, Staunton chips it over the top. They can make one last throw of the dice here. Here's the kick down towards their half-forward line. Little push from the back, good fist away. Down into the hands of Michael Dunn. He's a classy player, isn't he? He's a beauty to watch. Here's Simon Munkara onto the right boot out wide. They can charge forward here. Here come the Tiwi Bombers. Kick inside 50. Where's Austin Wanamiri? Waits at the back. Aussie waits at the back. Aussie waits, but it didn't come to him. They've gone in and kicked the goal anyway. Look at the celebration. What a magnificent second half. Oh my goodness. The crowd applauding. A goal to savour. Dion Munkara, you're a beauty. And I reckon the sirens brought it to an end. What a magnificent win. Stand and applaud. Tiwi Bombers come from behind, come out of the clouds and snatch a thrilling victory.
Outstanding, yeah. Obviously, two totally different halves of football. The Tiwi Bombers in that second half just turned the tide. Their pressure, their work rate, everything that just worked for them. That didn't work for them in the first quarter. So, outstanding result for them, and well deserved. And that sets up a mouth-watering contest next week against Nycliffe. I think the last time Nycliffe and Tiwi played, Tiwi had the better of them. So that should be a really exciting contest next week. So yeah, really good second half from Tiwi Bombers.
13-8 to 10-5 the final score. Tiwi Bombers win a thriller.
They do, don't they, Charlie? 5 goals to 2 in the second half. That's just outstanding. And when you look at the quarter by quarter, Charlie, Southern District's leading by 21 points at half-time. Tiwi Bombers running away, 21-point victors, 42-point turnaround in that second half. That, in a game of this standard, of this meaning, that's a sensational second half.
Well, Nycliffe kicked 12 goals to 1 in the second half. Tiwi have kicked 10 goals to 3 in the second half here, both against Southern District. They've got some questions to answer.
They do indeed. And they haven't got long to fix it up. 1 week, and they're going to come up against a Waratah unit who, Hodgie, we saw play a very disciplined, quality game of football today. Yeah,
and then really good form at Waratahs at the moment as well. They've had 2 big wins in the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy for Southern Districts next week. And obviously, Waratahs are coached very well by Ryan Ayres, who was an assistant coach at Southern Districts last year in the Premiership. Shannon Rusker and Ryan Ayres, very good mates.
Just seeing the Nycliffe players depart the stadium here at Marara. They've been watching on with interest, no doubt, this game. And they know that they've got a game of footy in front of them next weekend against a very quick, very skillful Tiwi Bombers team who, it has to be said, Hodgie, and you made comment about it, quarter time, half time, they were nervous. They fumbled their way through the first half. They really did. And they had to overcome that in order to play some quality football and end up running out 21-point victors. So to me, that they've overcome a number of hurdles today, not the least of which is the Southern District Football Club.
Absolutely, and they're very well coached by Brenton Toy and the team there at Tiwi Bombers, and they hadn't played too much finals footy in the last couple of years, but when it mattered, the big names stood up and were counted. So Austin Wanamiri, Ross Tungatama, outstanding. I think he's my all-time favourite. Ashton Hams, Burgess, Sam Dyke down back, can't go unmentioned. Superb. Yeah, he just played his role. Wasn't super clean, but he just got the ball going their way. And Silvani Pulbui, that whole back six were outstanding. They didn't leave each other isolated. They supported each other. They worked for each other. They got back and helped each other out. So, look, a real complete effort from them in the second half. And then Brenton Toy is going to work really hard this week at fixing that up this week, the first half, because if against a good side like Nycliffe, if you ever have a first half like that, potentially Nycliffe could put it to bed. So they need to come out and fire next week early on and play the brand of footy that they had today.
So the tail of the game was Southern Districts led by 12 points at quarter time, 21 points at half time, down by a point at three-quarter time, and then failed in the end by 21 points. What a turnaround. What a game of footy, though.
Just magnificent.
Wow, we've been treated to something special today.
I'm so lucky when you asked me during the week, Charlie, to sit down and help you guys out with the special comments. I made sure I could sit here for this because I just love watching the Tiwi Bombers. Outstanding performance in that second half.
And how was the crowd? I mean, Southern Districts have supporters here, there's no doubt, but I tell you what, 70-80% of this crowd here desperate to see Tiwi Bombers go to win, and they weren't disappointed. They played just sparkling footy again, didn't they?
They did, and I'm really impressed with the fact that they worked through a bad patch, and it wasn't just a patch, it was a half. They worked through that, kept in the game, and then took the game on and played their style of football and really tried to make Southern Districts match them, which they couldn't do.
Now, seasons are long, you know. After 5 rounds of competition, Tiwi was zipping 5. People writing them off. Brenton Toy, he didn't lose focus. He knew what he wanted to do. He stayed calm, as he always does. I reckon that calm demeanour that he has it gives the players confidence. He doesn't rant and rave. He uses their language every now and then when he's talking to them. He's got a leadership group. Listen to the crowd applauding them as they walk off. They deserve all of this. They turned it on today.
That playing group, they respect Brenton Toy so much, they'd run through a brick wall for him. So when he tells them to do something at half-time to turn it around, I bet you any money he would have been very, very passionate at half-time, and those players responded to every word that he would have told them, and they've come out and won a great game. Probably, I mean, they've had a lot of great victories in the history of the club, but this one would have to be right up there, I reckon.
Oh, it's given them a real chance, hasn't it? And I love the way he coaches. And, you know, Charlie, we've been fortunate enough to call a number of Tiwi Bomber games over the past couple of weeks. Clearly coaches prepare for finals, and I think one of the things that Brenton Toy's done over the last couple of weeks is that he hasn't put Ross Tongatallam front and centre. Ross Tongatallam has not been one of the Tiwi Bombers' main players over the last couple of weeks. He's had him running on a wing at half-back, hasn't put him in the midfield very much, not up forward. But today, when it was there to be run and won, there was Ross Tongatallam, you know, really into it. And I think that's really important.
It is good, yeah. 4 goals in the second half from him. Yep. So he and Austin Wanamiri kicked 9 goals for that team score of 13. So the rest of the team got 4. But those two, you know, if you're Nightcliff, you'd be, and you're a defender or wherever you are. You'd be thinking, I hope I don't get the job on either one. And let's just talk about Austin Wanamiri for a moment. You know, he's been out of the game for a while. He played at Melbourne. He came back. He put on some weight. He didn't play. And then gradually he started to get back in it. Yeah. Boy, now he's at the top of his game, isn't he? Yeah.
There's a big belief in amongst that group, yeah. And obviously they respect him so highly. And Brenton Toy just made all the right moves today as well, didn't he? He just, you know, Ashton Hams went behind the footy at the right times. And all those guys stood up. But yeah, Austin Wanamiri up forward, he was just so smart. And he actually creates space. You know, we talk about Ross Tongatallam and the performance he had. The work that Austin Wanamiri does off the ball to allow Ross Tongatallam to get into space is just outstanding. So they're working beautifully as a team at the moment, and I'm pretty excited to see where it might go. And I just can't wait to watch next week's game against Nightcliff. It's going to be outstanding.
Can I just ask you, Liam Woodcock, Nolan, you've got to give him credit. I mean, he rucked against Gillhouse most of the day. Yep. And he didn't win, I don't think, on the day, but he worked so hard, didn't he, against him?
Yeah, he did. I think he worked really hard. You know, he's not a, you know, as fit as Seb Gillhouse. Seb Gillhouse is a very professional ruckman. He's a very fit fellow. But Seb Gillhouse didn't do a lot of damage around the ground. And then in the second half, I thought Liam Woodcock Nolan actually started to get more involved, used his body, shepherded really well, did those sorts of things. And then the second ruck I thought was really important. I thought Alistair Darcy had far more of an impact in the ruck and forward than what Josh Innes did when they were rotating. So I thought that was an excellent move again by Brenton Toy. I thought they won that second ruck contest, the Tiwi Bombers.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I love the work of Roy Farmer and Jason Purantatameri. I think the idea of pushing Jason Purantatameri forward was only a dream for a little while, only a dream for him. Now he knows where he plays. He'll be a defender. You'll leave him there. You won't take him forward next week.
Well, I think Jason kicked a few goals forward last week, didn't he? So I think they were going to explore with that. And, but they put him down back really, really quickly, and he was outstanding again.
We're going to hold this for a couple more minutes and then we'll leave you from here. But, gee, it was a great game of footy. Give us some more thoughts on it, Hodgie.
Well, maybe looking forward probably to what's going to happen next week. The Nightcliff game's obviously going to be a critical one, but Districts, like we said earlier, is it's a critical one for them. Obviously, last year's premiers, they won the 13 games this year, only lost the 5, and they're taking on a fired-up Waratahs who potentially are on a bit of a roll at the moment. That's going to be a really critical game as well. I think it's going to be an exciting one to make sure, obviously, Districts, after having such a good year, to bow out in straight sets would be really disappointing.
Oh, look, it'd be exceptionally disappointing for them. As you say, a good year, currently the reigning premier, of course, and no doubt, and rightly so, they'd be in the hunt for back-to-back flags. That's what they'd be gunning for, and so they should be. Proud team. From a team changes perspective, I must admit I was surprised not to see Jared Brennan there today. And I'd be really interested to see whether they're able to bring him up for next week, because as the game wore on, I thought they needed 2 Ed Barlows. They needed one running through the midfield. They also needed one up forward. He had such an impact in the first half, but then once the Tiwi got rolling, they needed more than one of him, and Jared Brennan would offer that chop out.
If he's fit, they will bring him next week.
All right, we'll leave it there just with that news then, that next week Nightcliff play Tiwi here. The winner goes through to a grand final. Southern Districts play Tars. The loser drops out. And in the matches played today, what a win for Tars today. 78-point drubbing of the Buffaloes. 21 goals 10 to 8 goals 9. And the match of the season, they kept the best for last. The Tiwi Bombers come from behind. 21 points down at half-time. 42-point turnaround. They won by 21 in the end. 13 goals 8, the Tiwi Bombers, defeating Southern Districts 10 goals 5. Terrific win for the Moston Montemirri, got 4, and Ross Tungatulum got 5. And the only multiples for the Southern Districts, 2 goals to Shane Thorne and 2 to Steve Rusker. Thanks, Hodgie, for working with us. Appreciate you. It's been great to have you on board.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. I've loved every minute of it.
And Dominic McCormack, thanks, mate.
Good on you, Charlie. Look forward to next week now.
Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the footy from Marara here. We're going to return you now to a national program.
Good fun, guys. That's great. Thanks, Hodgie.
Yeah. Fun. We're going to get you more. I bet Channel 7 might got you signed up.
I only just fill him in there and got anyone available. So, no, I love it. It's good fun.
Great to have people who know their stuff, you know. You can look inside all of that. We'll say what we want to say, but we can look